I give out just enough to let people know what's titillating, what's popping. But go ask Nick Rekieta if I keep secret. Dude, I don't like how the internet's claiming Nick and I are friends. We're not friends. We're not. Whatever pisses the most people off. I have stuff I'd love to spill right now. I'd love to. I want Rekieta to send me in the mail the charcuterie fridge. Nick Rekieta has some kind of evidence and proof about what Aaron likes sexually, what kind of porn he likes. Imagine he has some sort of proof. There is shit that's going to come out. I wish I could tell you. Aaron doesn't even know yet. I can't even give you a taste or a hint. How dumb is he? Aaron is fucking retarded and fucked himself so hard. And it's not a story. It's just wait. It's so big. It's so big and all encompassing.
Alyssa Clips sends an email to aaronmholtradio@gmail.com.
DMs with Nick Rekieta.
Why would Nick do that? Why would Nick come in a chat and tell everyone that you jack off after looking at his Kiwi Farms thread and he's not kidding? Almost as if he's watched you do that.
Rekieta sends a DM to Alyssa Clips.
Oh, Alyssa. So butthurt you sent our DMs to Aaron to hurt me. Why don't you send him your nudes like you did to guys in my Discord? Make sure you take his money.
I have a unique position, and I don't want to rub this in again or tease it or whatever. I know something that maybe 5 people on Earth know. If Aaron knew what I know, I don't know if he'd go live again. This is going to be life-shattering hilarity. It's not a bluff. I'm not kidding. It's going to fucking crumble. One of the reasons I can't say it is I was asked not to. The other reason I can't tell you, and this is very important, it's still going on. It's still happening. Somebody makes a good point. They're like, Nick bugged his house. But that's a great example. That's a great example of like what could be happening, right? Nick's got a recording device planted. He doesn't.
I have his jersey, Mike's purchase history.
Nobody likes onions, writes.
Leak from Leighton Media. Oren's broadcasting deal details. He's asking Leighton for $3,000 a month to do a show for 3 hours a day. I can 100% guarantee that's the deal he is floating to Leighton. I seen his little presentation. If I shared the PDF of the deal Aaron sent over, you'd all fall down laughing. One day Nick will reveal it all, I think.
Someone got in contact with me who claims to be affiliated with Leighton Broadcasting. And we'll just say that this person's name is A, because that makes it fun. Aaron. So somebody familiar with this deal sent this over.
This poor bastard. I can prove that Aaron Imholt thinks about Nick Rekieta and reads about him and then jerks off. And that's what he likes to do.
Hold on.
What a cock.
You can prove he reads your Kiwi Farms thread and then jerks off.
Yes, I can do it. It's funny.
Rekietalaw tweets.
Oh my God, why would this be real?
Why are you showing everyone what we already know about you? Get some help. I'm a pray for you.
Oh pal, this isn't mine.
Smokey on Melton's Discord says, people watch porn, who gives a fuck? Moody responds.
Think of the implications, my guy. You're not clicked into it if you don't think this is a huge deal. This is a Google browser account that's logged in. It will have access to all Google services.
Nobody likes onions DMs.
Browser tabs, search history, emails, voicemails, texts, YouTube stats, and analytics, money. Everything. This is not from April. Aaron signed in himself on Nick's computer, and Nick has meticulously backed all up for months. And Aaron shut it down this morning, but he has it all saved.
Breaking Baldo News World exclusive. with explicit permission from Aaron M. Holt. Breaking Baldo News reveals DM conversations in which Aaron M. Holt suspects Nick Rekieta accessed his Google account without authorization. Further felony charges likely. Aaron M. Holt writes,
Ready for this one. Nick was logged into my Google account in his house and was reading my emails and sending some to people. Password changed and devices logged out.
BB says, "What the fuck?" and then asks loads of questions. Aaron answers,
I think he observed I was logged into his computer and he had been accessing the account and new people were sending me stuff for my case.
"Try to identify location access. See if you can reasonably establish unauthorized access."
I did. I think it was from when I did shows there.
Back on Discord, Melton writes,
The stuff Nick has, if I was Aaron, fuck.
Moody sends,
The implication is that this is just a screenshot of the browser history. If he has access to this, he has access to his emails, YouTube account, receipts from PayPal, or anything he's purchased. It's very bad for Aaron.
Melton DMs,
I literally have the proposal he emailed the station. Lol. You know how now. 11 months. Imagine what Rekieta has and knows. Imagine.
Rekietalaw tweets,
It doesn't matter. Aaron has been reporting everything I say to every authority he can think of, and his lawyer trying for anything. Fat Sham has been trying to advise him. Even Alyssa is chipping in. I've never tried to stop him from talking.
One wonders how Rekieta knows that, almost as if he's been surveilling some private communications. Nobody likes onions writes,
This allows so much you can't fathom. For instance, Aaron gets an email with every PayPal and Venmo donation. You can put together a chart of fake donations. Literally, Aaron has been getting legal advice from Sean and Nick could watch it all. Haha. Nick would send me Aaron panic searching to see if he was defaming me.
Random Discord user writes, "This is huge. One single screenshot has Aaron sweating. 11 months of data."
No, sweetie. He's had access for 11 months. Who knows how old the account is, and he had access to all of it. Maybe decades of Google history.
He's had access for 11 months. He can see everything ever. And then think about how important email is to other services. For instance, maybe every time you get a PayPal or Venmo donation, you get an email about it. Again, is it illegal for me to have a zip file of all his personal photos and credit card info and search history? I don't know. We'll have to have my legal team look at it. I can't imagine Nick, being a lawyer, would be putting himself.
It was at this moment he knew. He fucked up.
But look how much trouble he's in. Who knows?
But I can talk about my day yesterday. Yesterday, I was at the St. Cloud Police Department, voluntarily this time, and at the end, I asked them. I said, is what I've shown you, is what I've talked to you about, is that a crime? And they said it does sound like it.
Nobody likes onions tweets,
Some pics or nothing. Annexed in the tweet are very zoomed in pictures of what may be Aaron's Leighton broadcasting proposal.
Moody texts on Discord,
I personally think Nick did have access to Aaron's account, but I don't have absolute proof of that. I think that it's illegal to have access to that account and then disseminate that info. It seems like that's what Nick is doing. But we can't be sure of that, even if all the above is true. I don't know how motivated a police department in a small town would be to not only investigate this, but then charge him. There's a lot of ifs before Nick ends up in prison. Then trying to tie Patrick into this as an accomplice is so weird when you consider that he's in another state and this is incredibly petty. There's been no property damage, no bodily injury, and no monetary loss. I just don't see how they'd be bothered to go further. If you think that's me defending Nick, and it's troublesome that I think like this, you're not reading things properly.
Nick's facing issues of unauthorized access of Aaron's Google information, Google accounts, and all that. Yeah, that was really fucking dumb. Don't fuck around in computer accounts that aren't yours. once again, Chad, I tell you, don't take notes about committing crimes and don't talk about committing crimes. And if you're joking, don't joke about committing crimes. Because guess what? The police are going to take a notice of you. And then they might find out if you're committing real crimes. So apparently, Nick has been surveilling communications, such as apparently, according to Melton, once between me and Aaron. Are you really sure the Minnesota Bar wants to know you're surveilling attorney-client relationships? Something to think about. I mean, that's the kind of shit a bar will take your ticket for. What does privilege and confidence mean when you'll go out and blab about somebody's mental health crisis in the middle of a drunken rage? I mean, confidence is important to me. Confidentiality is important. I've talked to you out there. You guys have reached out to me about all kinds of stuff. I'll never tell a soul. I'll take it all with me to the grave. It's not mine to give away. It's not currency I use to extort and fuck with people. You know, that's how real confidence works. That's how real privilege works.
Patrick Melton is a guy who's doxed people before. He's bragged about having months and months of my information. He put a zoomed in screenshot, and I sent this to authorities, of my proposal to Leighton Broadcasting, which is in my Google Drive, which he did not have authorization to access, which Nick sent him. So Patrick has it. It was sent to him. I recreated the Zoom. It was from that. I mean, I recognized it. I wrote the proposal.
By the way, is there anything in the court system at all about this Google hacking yet?
First of all, Aaron wasn't hacked in any way at all. But when he goes to report the crime, he has to start with, so I left my information logged in on a computer.
From the Cambridge Dictionary, hacking.
The activity of getting into someone else's computer system without permission in order to find out information or do something illegal.
Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, Title 18 of the United States Code, Section 1030.
Whoever intentionally accesses a computer without authorization or exceeds authorized access and thereby obtains information from any protected computer. The term computer means an electronic or other high-speed data processing device and includes any data storage facility or communications facility. The term protected computer means a computer which is used in or affecting interstate or foreign commerce or communication.
Found that out yesterday that the cyber crimes thing isn't done.
So they could be collecting this stuff too.
Oh, apparently there's just a metric. Like this retard would not stop showing this shit to people. And the reason it's taking so long is they have a laundry list of people they need to talk to.
It's almost 11 and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11 and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11.
Oh man, I kind of ruined that intro there. We got the whole thing. Oh well, we'll have to end it early. I was trying to change the banner, but how's it going, guys? Yes, it's been a good Friday. We'll play New Baldo streaming tonight. What if I take a break or something? We'll have to do it like that. I was trying to change the banner to to this one, then I stopped the song. I'm not going to make you listen to it twice. Sorry, this isn't the Kino Cassini. It's not 30 minutes of intros, even though I do enjoy some of those. Be sure you like the stream, as we now have the end of season 1, allegedly, right? Nick Rekieta, my boy, Nick Rekieta of Rekietalaw, a small law firm in central Minnesota, has been ordered, sentenced 30 days in the county jail. Now, is he actually going to spend that time in jail, or will it be deferred? I think everyone's expecting this to be deferred, but that's provided he's a good boy up until August 1st. Can he be a good boy? We'll have to find out about that later. But this happened like a couple of, well, I guess like 12 hours ago or something. Well, it was a while ago. No, wait, it was almost 18 hours ago. I was asleep. This happened at like 1 a.m. my time, okay? You can't blame me. But, yeah, anyway. Aram, he unleashed the cats tonight with a 20,000 IDA. He said another win for the toe. This is unironically another win for the toe. It's kind of crazy. He got away with one Kayla freedom unit. And Baldo is well, actually, this isn't even the worst of it. Like, it's not the sentencing of 30 days, which actually took me by surprise and basically everyone by surprise. And I even lost a bet on this. I thought there would be no sentencing for any jail time. This actually shocked me when I saw it. But what we do here is go back. So we have to go back in time a couple days to new filings. Okay, this happened a couple days ago. You may have seen them already, but Nick Rekieta, very influential individual. He's a pillar of the community, and he influenced so many people and made so many people happy and gave away so many millions of dollars that some people submitted some letters to the court to say he's a good boy, he didn't do nothing. Please don't put him in prison. Now he got three letters. All these no Make-A-Wish kids, no John sent a letter, nobody like that. There was 3 letters. There was one from Kayla, his wife, allegedly. There was one from his father. Okay, I wouldn't, like, even if my son fucked up, I would probably write a letter in support of him. And there was one from Megan Fox. Now, of these letters, I'm going to read them in order, from worst to best. And I would like the chat to try and guess before we get started, before you press like on the stream, which I hope you've already done already. Out of those 3 people, you have his father, who raised him, made him the man he was. You have his wife of 20-some odd years. And you have his internet friend of about 2 or 3 years. Which of these people do you think wrote the best letter? Who knows him the best? Who has the best writing skills? Who do you think? We're going to start with the worst letter, which is also the shortest letter, ironically. And that is the worst letter, in my view, is Kayla's. I think that his wife, Kayla had the worst letter. It's a 1-page. It's a 1-pager. Okay? Like, if you submitted this as your high school essay, they would send it back and say, like, no, you're going to need at least 3 pages. But this is the letter that's trying to keep him out of prison and allegedly look after their 5 children. And I can tell you how this happened. I can tell you why this letter is so short. It's because AI isn't very good. And Kayla went up to the computer and she said, computer, replicate me 1 letter to get my husband out of prison. And this is what happened. Oh, wait, I have to play the audio. There we go. And that's how this letter came to be. And I'm going to be playing this replicator sounds many times tonight. But before I get into that, incredibly based, Robert Lawrence gifted 5 memberships. If you get a membership, it gives you the emojis, the Discord, all that good shit. And also helps me A-log people who are pretty bad pieces of shit. Xcuba with a 100. North Korean Chris says, recover from losing the bet. Look, all right, chat. The bet I made was that Nick would not spend a day in jail. Now, he already spent 2 days in jail, okay? He's sentenced to 30 days. Now, he may not spend any additional days in jail, but I think the spirit of the bet that he wouldn't get it in the sentencing. So I will admit that I lost this bet. I was wrong, and moreover, Sean, the sandwich man, was wrong. So I guess that's what people didn't think about this. This is actually a W for Nick because he proved the internet wrong. So he proved Sean wrong on the internet because he got his prediction wrong. I think everyone was shocked by this. And there are some really smooth-brained individuals that are saying, like, he's not going to spend a single day on Twitter. Yeah, we all assume that. It's sentenced. But anyway, I digress. Let's go into the worst letter. Dear Judge Wenzel, who is actually pretty based, apparently, and you won't even believe what happened today. This is crazy. Like, clowns literally showed up at the courthouse. But anyway, I'm writing today regarding Nicholas Rekieta. It's kind of weird to call your husband by their full name, I think. Is that kind of weird? I don't know. Nicholas Rekieta from case number, Nick's case. I know there is a lot of information about him out there due to his internet presence. Oh, it's a big internet. Did Nick write this? Wait a second. Did Nick write this purely to appeal to Null from the Kiwi Farms? Maybe. So I thought it might be beneficial to hear from someone who knows the actual man and not just a character from a show. Nicholas has been my best friend. I'm going to put an F to doubt on that one. Well, there's an X to doubt, I suppose. If you remember, you get the custom X emoji. Look at that. Look at that. Look at me shamelessly shill. He is the best friend, life partner, and husband of the past 20 years. He is the father of our 5 amazing children. Well, okay, that's nice. I mean, none of them turned out a darker shade, so I'd assume this is true. He is and has been the kind of man who will stop what he is working on personally to help the people around him who are struggling, unless your name is John, perhaps. When our nanny quit so suddenly in the middle of our school year, that's a weird thing. Why would she quit so suddenly? She was with them for 5 years. That's a long time. Like, some of these children, I think the youngest one is like 6. And, you only start forming memories after like 2, 3, or 4. For most people, I think it's like 4. I think that's when most people have their first memory. But anyway, so some of these kids have known this person their entire life, and she's the one actually looking after them while Kayla's off in the Delta Quadrant. So for her to quit in the middle of school, that's a weird thing. What did they do, I wonder, that would make her quit so suddenly? I don't know. I guess it's a mystery. Let me see. He became one of our main drivers, the other being the father. Nick's father, because Nick's father's doing most of the driving, apparently. Getting the kids to and from when they needed to go for their activities. The kids take a mix of homeschool classes and classes at CCS, which I believe is the Christian high school. They all take violin and piano lessons. Our boys are in speech. 2 of our kids play soccer. Our girls take dance lessons. And all 5 kids are involved in church activities twice a week, not counting any extra trips like doctor and dentist appointments. We leave our home to drive our kids to classes and activities 4 to 12 times per day, depending on the day. Look, I know this is a busy schedule, and this is true. I take this as true. You chose to do this. But they complain about it so much. Anyway, I mean, there's so many ways you could make this more simplified, but this is the life that they chose. There are even days that 2 drivers are necessary at the same time to bring different kids to different places. Nicholas has been my rock, helping me give our kids all the opportunities they can have. I could not raise our kids with the same diligence without him. In addition to helping me with the endless driving, he is our main chef. Computer. How hard is it to make fucking SpaghettiOs? Computer, replicate me a bowl of SpaghettiOs. Oh, it's accepted? Great. Thank you, computer. It's that hard, right? Well, I mean, if you're in the Delta Quadrant, it's that easy. He's our main chef. Okay, so what does Kayla do? He cooks almost all of our meals, including the 11 p.m. requests of our 17-year-old. Wait a minute. Well, first of all, Nick's only been awake for 2 hours at 11 p.m. Second of all, didn't Nick say that all of his kids knew how to cook? Didn't Nick say that Aaron couldn't possibly have made all of the SpaghettiOs because even the 9-year-old knows how to cook, but he has to cook for the 17-year-old at 11 p.m.? Look, I remember being a 17-year-old and I ate shit all day, but I would just go to the kitchen and make myself a sandwich. I wasn't asking my father to cook for me at 11 p.m. This sounds like bullshit. Okay, this sounds like bullshit. The kids are geniuses, but they can't make a sandwich or a bowl of ramen. All right. I mean, if it's true, that's actually very sweet. That's endearing. But this is not what Nick said. Nick said that all of his kids, including the ones that are 6 and 9, know how to cook. It is fun to watch his skills and creativity come on top on our dishes. I've seen some of his dishes. I'm not sure about them. Anyway, the children and I are not the only people who have benefited from his generous heart. Several of my siblings and other family members, friends, and church acquaintances have all been helped financially without hesitation. Well, I mean, if you come from a rich family, it's very easy to give away other people's money. And without demand for repayment. Nice. You gave your sister a free holiday. That's lovely. He used his online presence to help other people raise money that was needed for their lives and their problem. Like Vic? Isn't Vic like 500 grand in the hole? I mean, yeah, he shared some GoFundMes, but it wasn't like a big, okay. But, maybe he did stuff that you didn't talk about. The best type of charity you don't talk about. His heart for other people shines through at those times, especially for John. I know my husband made a mistake and broke the law, but it was just that, a mistake. Now, I actually agree with this. I think that there is a place in life for people to make mistakes, but a part of making a mistake is realizing the mistakes you've made, apologizing to the people you care about, and then going forward knowing that you've made a mistake and making up for it. And if anything, Nick's presence online is a complete travesty. He spends like 4 hours a day watching Melton because he's butthurt that his boyfriend Aaron no longer picks up his messages, no longer picks up his calls. And he just spends all of his time trying to destroy Steel Toe's life for some reason. The most boring activity I can imagine is not even watching Steel Toe, but watching people watch Steel Toe. All right. I mean, that sounds like he's got really invested. He's really invested in in making up for his mistakes. Hey, look at this. Someone, the wrong person of the hour. Nick helped my brokey family and pitiful peasants in the village. Look, Sean, Mr. Sandwich Sean, you promised me Nick would not do a J in jail. Okay, now I'm down $20. We were all surprised by this verdict. But how's it going, Sean? Hope you're doing very well. Also, Ryan, welcome to member status. And also, Scarebro says, conclusion, Bob is an enabler and our wife is a hostage. I think Bob is a bit of an enabler. I definitely think so. But anyway, where were we? He is a good man. I'm going to press X to doubt on this one, just based on his actions. I mean, good men don't, well, I mean, I shouldn't say this early in the stream. He fights for freedom and free speech. I mean, unless you're Aaron or anyone like shitting on him, and that bothers some people. They're trying to take away his voice. Please do not let them. Thank you for taking the time to read my letter. This like ending, like this just doesn't go, mate. I'm sorry. Like this is like a thank you for coming to my TED talk ending. I did not like this letter. It's kind of like, what do you do in the house, Kayla? When I read this, I mean, I guess she's talking about Nick, but I did not like this letter. Okay, this is the worst letter and the shortest letter, and that was by the wife. All right, that brings us to the second letter, in my opinion, which is the second best letter, and that was the longest letter, and that was by Robert. All right, let's take a look at this one. Let's take a quick peek. Let's take a quick peek at this. Your Honor, this one I've got some real big, like, I find there's like some errors in a lot of these letters, but we're going to go through them as we do. Your Honor, I am writing today to put in some good words for Nick and Kayla. Oftentimes, in situations such as this, the bad is amplified and the good goes under the radar. First and foremost, I want to sing their praises as parents. As has been evident through this entire time and before, the kids are and have been thriving. And you know what? For whatever else, I've heard that this is true. And that's great. That's good to hear that. They are healthy, smart, engaging, talented, polite, active, and participatory in their church and other activities. I'm not going to read the kids' names though, but eldest, I'll just say Child from now. Child goes to full-time to CCS, which is in his junior year, is a straight-A student and a member of the National Honor Society. He participates in drama, band, and debate. Child and other Child go to CCS part-time, and they're also straight-A students. They are also in drama as well as band and or choir. Child and Child started taking Spanish classes at CCS, except for Child. The others are all homeschooled to some degree and advancing well. Child was also homeschooled until he was accepted into the school for his sophomore year. Child also plays both JV and varsity soccer. While he's the smallest player on the varsity team, he is one of the biggest hearts and always gives his best. I mean, that's nice. It seems like the grandfather appreciates his grandchildren. I like this, but it doesn't do much for Nick, in my opinion. All of the kids take violin and piano, while the girls also take dance lessons. Child takes 4 disciplines, and then Child takes 3, Child takes 2. They are extracurricular. With all of these activities both in and out of the school, Nick and Kayla provide yeoman's work. Now, I've actually never heard this phrase before, so I had to look it up, but it's a lot of work, getting them to and from school sports and activities. There were times when they did a lot of that. When we did, we is an operative word because the dad helped out here. He also helped remind Nick that he had to pay his mortgage, which he didn't do, which is why he got default on it, but he eventually made up for it by selling the second house. And while they were separated from the kids, we would be putting in some 100 miles a day. Every time we heard Christy Barber speak of the kids, and I believe that's the Guardian ad litem, she marveled at their intelligence, their talent, and their engagement and politeness. All of the kids are loving and respectful and cognizant of the feelings of others. These kids' abilities in school and as they progress through their homeschool curriculum is a testament to Kayla's dedication and involvement in their growth. Okay. Nick and Kayla have also helped their family members, like when they sent their brokies, like Sean said, the brokey family members sent them on holiday. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? When they have been asked to loan them money, they readily do so. I should correct myself. They actually don't loan them the money. Now, this is a weird thing. I don't know about you guys, but why would you this is is this being dictated? Like, I should correct myself. Then why don't you just correct yourself? Like, this is a letter, right? I mean, this is a letter. I don't know. This convinces me that like maybe Kayla's one was written by Nick, but this one was definitely written by the father because Nick is a writing major. He would never make such a mistake. He would just go back and make the mistake himself. He gave them the money. They never asked for repayment because they know that their family's broke. Well, I mean, those are their brokey family members. They also have been there for Kayla's siblings and their families as they navigated through patches in their life. They have treated the brokey family members to trips to Hawaii and Florida, as well as provided them during family trips. During a family camp at Lake Beauty Bible Camp, Nick and Kayla rented one large of the large dormitory type cabins and invited their entire family to stay. A couple years ago, when the school was short on money and needed parents to be responsible to provide costumes for the kids in the school play, Nick and Kayla anonymously stepped up to provide the necessary funds so that no one had to pay. Now, I mean, that's a nice thing to do, but again, when you're using your family's money, and Nick does have a lot of money now because of his streaming recently, well, maybe not so much anymore. But I was doing some research for this stream because I've got some Wayback Machine clips. Nick talked about his previous careers where every job he went through, he was earning $30,000 a year. How do you think he paid off two houses that were, one of them was worth like $500,000, I think, at the time of buying. The other was like $200,000. How did they pay off two houses with no mortgage while Nick was going to law school and also raising 5 children when he wasn't working full time? Because they had grandpa's rich oil money, of course. So it doesn't really, I mean, it's nice that they gave the money, but I feel like I have a personal theory, but I'll talk about it later. In addition, Nick and Kayla are regular supporters at Make-A-Wish Minnesota and the Minnesota Zoo in Apple Valley. It's curious to me that no one from Make-A-Wish or Minnesota Zoo wanted to send a letter in. I think that would have been good. Why was there only 3 letters? And I think these are like the whitest thing you can do. I don't think they really serve any purpose. And they may actually be a detriment because they were completely ignored. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I guess my personal theory is that part of Nick's trust fund includes a certain amount of money he can give to charity every year. Like, it's like, you know, I'm just making this up. I don't know. I haven't spoken to anyone about this. But my theory is something like you get a certain amount of money for every child. In addition, you get $50,000 a year to give to charity. Now, I think what Nick does is he uses that to buy his god-awful paintings. But again, I don't have any. This is just my own headcanon, okay? It's my fun little game theory. Anyway, they have been active in their church community. The kids go to Wednesday night activities at the new location, Faith Covenant Church, every week. Child and child go to Bible study Sundays, and they also have various other church-related activities throughout the year. They have participated in overnight, weekend, Christian-themed outings, and child has gone on mission trips both in and out of the country. That's pretty cool. I wish I could do that when I was a kid. When Nick decided to go to law school on his parents' money, I just added that in, he had to drive to Wilman Mitchell twice a week. He'd drive to class on Monday, drive to her house, spend the night, drive to class on Tuesday, and then drive back to Spicer. He would repeat the same drive for his Thursday class, and all the while, Kayla supported him by holding down the fort at home with the kids. Their dedication to getting him through their school was impressive, and he made us proud when he passed the bar on his first attempt, and he was subsequently sworn in. Nick did a short video on his YouTube channel. He responded to a question where he was asked what his best moments as a lawyer were. He talked about how a woman he knew was involved in a custody battle with her ex-husband. Many times during the child's weekends with his dad, he would come home with bruises. Many lawyers tried to sever the father's custody and failed. Nick was able to get it done and get the child out of that hostile environment. Wow. Great job. But unfortunately, he hates being a lawyer. Okay. That's the son I know. That's the daughter-in-law I know. Regardless of their personal situation, they look out for their kids, their others, their kids, their family, their friends, and that divorced mother who just wants a good life for her son, Robert Rekieta. I mean, it's a nice story, but like, I think this one's fine. I guess this one's fine. Like I said, I rate it the best one. It's much better than Kayla's for sure. All right, now we go into the best one. The best one, I think, and the best one for trying to achieve what it's trying to achieve, right, is Megan Fox. Now, I like Megan Fox. I like to think of her as a friend, but I think that she's a little bit misguided in her admiration for Nick, and I don't think she really understands her role in his life. And I say that because I'm pretty sure Megan Fox appeared on the scene directly after Farron was removed, and I think that Megan Fox largely served the same role in Nick's life that Farron did previously, which is a woman that's in the media that he can openly flirt with on his show while his wife is zonked out on gummies or whatever. And I think I was like, I'll bring it up a bit later, actually. But no, I'll bring this part up now, but I'm going to reference this a bit later. This is a message that Nova, who actually I think I saw in the stream today, and he's going to be in the stream later today as well, Nova did a bit of a dirty thing. He was messaging with Farron to get the private deets out, then he spread the hot gossip. So I believe that this is Farron on this side. He says, "You cannot tell anyone I told you this." Like no one. Look, when a message, when you've got the Nova side and it says, "Of course I won't tell anyone," you know you're in for a funny time. I wouldn't have done this, but I think the results are very funny, Nova. I see you in there. I see you, Nova. That night of that infamous drunk stream I had with him, I was up talking to him until 7 a.m. and he admitted that his wife wants to swing. They were at a swingers island and he's building a sex room and all this shit. I just laughed it off, but I've never looked at him the same. Part of me thinks it's her and he's trying to go along with it. Yeah. And Nova responds, "Yeah, not surprised. Haha, midlife crisis, real thing. I think it's her to haha, she's a firecracker." When these came out, I'll be honest, I took a major L here because I didn't quite believe these are true. I thought that Nick was lying. And he was trying to drunk flirting with Farron. He was trying to test the waters, you know what I mean? But I didn't think he was actually already engaging, or both of them are engaging and cheating each other at this time. But this kind of proves the point. And in my opinion at this time is that he's told her these things because he was trying to test the waters to say, like, look, my wife and I are already swingers, so, we got a pretty good rapport going. And you did show me your cooch last night on stream when you leaned back and started kicking your legs. But anyway, after this all happened, the drunk stream with Farron, Farron basically got laughed out of the community. She went back. She decided to quit being online. I mean, she was around for a while, but then she went back to a real job, and now she's got like a pretty good job. I think she's gone back to her original media personality role. Now, when she left, that's when Megan Fox sort of came in, and Megan Fox kind of had a very similar sort of credentials. Like Farron was like a media personality, reporter, TV person. Megan is like an independent journalist, and she does a lot of legal stuff. She does a couple of things. But there's a very similar dynamic, and I've always sort of thought that Megan was just a replacement in Nick's mind for Farron. So when I say that, I feel like when the relationship that I have to be careful what I say here. The relationship that Megan has with Nick, I think that she sees all of his attention as like friendship. Like he's such a good friend. He's always talking to me. He's always DMing me. And I think that Nick is always just like, I gotta see them tits. I think that's what happened. But anyway, Megan decided to write a letter to Nick, to support Nick. And I can understand her point of view. Like I said, I think she's misguided. And maybe I'll get some shit for saying this. But Megan doesn't follow everything. And I think that she probably bought Nick's explanation for what happened. Is like, he'll be saying like, look, my kid tested positive for coke. The government didn't even pursue it. That means it never happened, right? And she's probably like, oh yeah, that makes sense. And she doesn't read the Kiwi Farms. And in many ways, she thinks that the Kiwi Farms is responsible for Nick's downfall, which clearly isn't the case. So she blames those god-awful Kiwis on driving Nick insane. I just don't think that she has a grasp of everything that Nick has done. She probably hasn't ever even seen the Dear John incident, for example, right? So with that mindset, I can understand why she would stand by her friend, and I don't blame her for that. Like if your friend was going through like some crazy, you think he's just fallen into a bad crowd or something, it's fair to stand by them. But like I said, I think that she's misguided in this. But I wanted to preface that first. Kurt vindicated. Yeah, I know that Kurt read this as well, and you could see the glee on his face. He was like, because we'll talk about Kirk a bit later, actually, but it is what it is. Oh, sorry, I have to get past this. Brandon is your garbage says, to receive your locals gift, you must write a letter. There we go. Like, can we get a wellness check on that 5K local gift? I'm not sure if it's coming out now. Ike with a 5 says, you thought Nick wouldn't do 1 day in jail. You're right. He has to do 30 days in jail. I mean, that's true. I feel I can get out of this with a technicality. Trucker Rob says, well, howdy me. Well, how'd it go, Trucker Rob? Hope you're doing well today. And happy Easter, everyone. I hope you're having a great Easter this. Honestly, I forgot it was Easter because it's not a holiday over here. It doesn't really apply to me anyway because, you know, I have my own hours. And BJ with a 2 says, Will Heron is the next Megan Fox? Let's hope not. All right, so let's get into Megan's letter. All right, and I think this is the best one. I think she does the best job saying why Nick, what he's done wrong, and why he shouldn't be in jail. I think that this is the one that achieved the best, but I have a lot of problems with this letter as well, which I'm going to go through and we're going to talk about. So, dear Judge, I have known Nick Rekieta professionally and personally since 2022. Nick created an entirely new type of entertainment covering legal battles on YouTube that was wildly successful. Now, Nick did not create the idea of streaming a trial, but he did popularize it. That is true. Actually, when Kurt was doing his reading of this, which is actually pretty entertaining, because knowing the backstory between Kurt and Megan and the AutoZone, basically Megan told Kurt he just needs to go to AutoZone and be himself, and he'll pick up some hot chicks there. And then Kurt was like, "What are you talking about?" And they've had a bit of a grudge ever since. But Kurt was actually part of one of the first channels on YouTube that was covering this sort of topic. Now, it wasn't very successful. Well, maybe it was for Leonard French. I don't know much about him, but it was kind of a small thing. But Nick definitely did popularize it, and he had some massive streams, and perhaps the largest legal streams ever. But there was people like Emily DeBaker, and I think Nate the lawyer. Legal Mindset was doing stuff on TikTok, which is kind of funny, actually, to know that he started off on TikTok. Maybe he didn't know that. But there was all these channels, but he definitely did bring people together, and he created a small community despite how much he hated it. But so he did not create this type of entertainment, but yeah, he did popularize it. I'll agree with that. His commitment to his work. Okay. I'm not sure if drinking for 8 hours a day while other people talk about the legal issues is work, but I mean, he made a lot of money doing it, so sure. His commitment to his work and his love for the law. Nick hates the law. And also Megan's very misguided here because it was never a law channel, actually. Nick said that himself. Drove him to be one of the most successful law channels on YouTube, drawing hundreds of thousands of people to engage in legal discussions. I mean, that is true. That is true. I think his largest live stream was over 100,000 during the, I want to say, Rittenhouse. I think the Johnny Depp was smaller, but at that time, I think like Nick was so successful in the Rittenhouse trial that everyone kind of took notice, and then they figured out kind of how it was. It's kind of like I said, he didn't invent the wheel, but when you invent the wheel, everybody sees it's actually pretty easy, and it's like, oh, actually, you know what? Instead of just watching this myself, I'll just stream myself doing it, and people will be asking me questions because I'm a legal professional, and they'll throw money at me. Actually, this is pretty easy. So yeah, it was kind of like a big explosion. And it did launch a lot of channels. Don't get me wrong. He did start people's careers. But it was kind of a simple idea that would have been figured out eventually anyway. But Nick absolutely did popularize this. I won't even pretend that he didn't. Let me see. Nick's unique style of covering trials gavel to gavel. I don't know if he covered them gavel to gavel. It seems like he jumped in a lot of them halfway through and then got other people like anyone in Lawtube to like fill him in the details while he read whiskey super chats and did toast to people and also flirted with people on locals. But I mean, I'm sure he covered at least a couple cases gavel to gavel. With humor, legal analysis, and irreverence, it led to multiple law channels gaining notoriety and popularity. This is true. This is true. The law became approachable for the average person through Nick's invention. I don't know if that's true. I don't know if that, first of all, not Nick's invention. I don't know if the law became approachable to the average person because of this. I think people like the drama. And let's be honest, because a lot of Lawtube people are like, I don't want to do drama. Every legal case that people are covering is basically drama. What do you think Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp was. That's just celebrity drama. People wanted to yell at Amber Heard and they wanted to cheer on Johnny Depp. They didn't learn more about the law. And you can tell that because, I mean, some people I assume did actually learn. But, you know, the majority of people, they're so bad at predicting any outcome or even understanding the meaning of words, but they spend like 8 hours a day watching these legal channels and they don't even know the surface of it. Okay. And I count myself in that as well. Because, you know, I don't know shit. I thought that Nick was going to get it any time. Anyway, where was I? The law became approachable. Several channels became successful. I read that part, yes. But several channels became successful because his model and an entire community known as Lawtube grew out of Nick's influence. This is very funny because Nick said that Lawtube was the gayest thing he ever heard and he didn't want to be a part of it. He hated the label Lawtube. So many times he said, just keep me out of this. I don't want to be anywhere near Lawtube. But it is what it is, right? So this is very kind of funny to see this here. And again, like maybe Megan doesn't know all the facts. I mean, she's got a family and her own career, so she doesn't have time like I do to watch all the streams, which is why I think that for her, Nick is just a friend. She doesn't really understand too much of it. And she's only known him for a couple of years as well, if we're being honest. Lawtube grew out of Nick's influence. This led many people to becoming interested in the law, going to law school. I'm not sure about many people going to law school, at least a couple though. And I feel like this isn't a point in Nick's favor. I feel like there should be a point against. We don't need more lawyers. It's like that Simpsons clip, you know? Can you imagine a world with more lawyers? Let's see. Making long life. Wait. Oh, this part. Okay, we're gonna start talking about Kurt for a second here. This led to many people becoming interested in the law, going to law school, becoming lawyers, making long life friends who shared interest in legal battles. All right, let's go to a Sean clip. Sorry, not a Sean clip. What is it? Where do I have that? Sorry, I got a lot of. Look at all these tabs. This one. Let's take a look at these lifelong friends. Now, Kurt. Look at the pain in his eyes. Kurt was one of the first friends of Nick. I think Good Logic was like the first like show regular friend that wasn't like Drexel or Mr. Peacock or all the original cast of people or Ty Beard. So this is like one of the first people that like made internet friends with him and then was like a regular reoccurring guest. And he also went to bat for Nick when he was arrested, but he couldn't. But Kurt is a very honest guy and is a very to the point sort of guy. And when he went through the search warrant, he's like, this is indefensible. I can't find a way to help Nick. But let's take a look at this long life friend. Let's see what Nick said about this guy.
Can I explain my beef with Nick? I don't know anything. I don't know that I necessarily have a beef with Nick. But Nick texted me and said we weren't friends anymore. So we're not friends anymore. And so that's the end of that story. I don't know what more to say than that.
You don't accept that I didn't give my kids Coke. Out. You're out of the church, Kurt. Get out, friend. You piece of shit. Get out of here. You can I feel bad for him here. He looks like he's breaking apart. Sad as violent? Yeah, maybe, but it is what it is. There you go. Just cast aside. You know, Kurt, here's the thing. If you wanted to be lifelong friends with Nick, you should have had a big pair and a V. Okay. I'm going to reference that clip again later, I think, as well. Invite Kurt to Stoney's. If I go to Stoney's, Kurt's invited. Sean too. Let me see. Where was I? Lifelong friends who shared interest in legal battles and changed the trajectory of many lives for the better, including mine. You know what? I do think that Nick changed my life for the better because I was drinking a lot more when I was watching Nick's show, and then I saw him fall apart and have the Coke stream, and then I was like, you know what? Maybe drinking isn't that much fun. Maybe I should drink less. And I think I got healthier as a result, honestly. So Nick did change my life for the better, but by being an example of what not to do. And I think that's the case for many people. And many people saw him and said, like, dude, is that what drinking online looks like? I thought it looked cool before. He ruined it all. He ruined everything for all of us. My channel was positively impacted by Nick's unique approach to online entertainment and his direct help and advice. You know what? I'll agree with that. Nick's channel really moved me to a bigger house. Sorry, I had to throw out at least a couple Simpsons memes. Anyway. Like the vast majority of lawyers, Nick struggled with substance abuse. I think we need a fact check on this, Megan. I'm sorry. I don't think the vast majority of lawyers struggle with substance abuse, but it is true that lawyers have a higher than average addiction rates. Cocaine's very high. A lot of them become alcoholics. It's a stressful possession. It's a stressful job for sure. For sure. Stressful profession, but the majority do not have substance abuse issues. This is a well-known and studied problem in the legal profession. It is so widespread that every bar association has programs and resources for lawyers with substance use problems. Look, there is a lot of lawyers on this. I will say it's higher than the average, but it's like dentists. Dentists have like a really high amount of suicide as well. The stress of quickly attained fame and fortune is also often the catalyst for substance abuse that is widely acknowledged in the entertainment industry. Now, I think that part of this is true. Nick was already from fortune. By the time that Megan came on the scene, the grandparents were already well into their oil money, and Nick was already getting his trust fund per child. More kids, more money, apparently. That's what I've heard from behind the scenes. But I think the stress of quickly gaining fame. Yeah, he couldn't handle the fame. The fame in the form of getting attention in locals, all of this extra... what do they call it? Parasocial relationships. Like Nick liked to say he was really good at handling them, but he wasn't. He loved the attention so much. And I think what's pretty obvious here is that he didn't get a lot of attention early in life. And I don't want to armchair philosophize or whatever this too much, but I think it's pretty obvious that he was, a nerd in high school, because that's the word he chose to insult people. And usually we choose insults that affect us the most. So, he saw himself as a nerd. He didn't get a lot of attention. He married the first woman that put out. And then all of a sudden he's like rich, funny, famous, and everybody loves him. And he feels like, oh, I got shortchanged. I settled too soon. And I think that's what kind of blew it up. Because it's really kind of crazy, because he kind of had it all, at least on the surface, right? There was some other things that were kind of always there, but that's a story for later. Anyway, Nick's meteoric rise to success no doubt played a role in his mistakes. Perhaps. But it's not because of the success, it's because of Nick's actions. He was the kind of person who always would have made these decisions, but he just never had the opportunity to do so. And then finally, when he did, he blew it. That's my opinion. Nick has acknowledged he broke the law. Has he? I mean, he hasn't the court filings, I suppose. He doesn't seem very beat up about it when he's chatting with Melton and friends. He has taken responsibility for pleading guilty to possession. Well, he did plead guilty to spare at least April getting any charges. That's nice. And I guess Kayla too. The community and his family would not be served by his incarceration, but would be served by his rehabilitation and the ability to get back to the job he loves, first, we'll just stop here. First of all, I kind of agree with this. I don't think it's better for him to be in jail. I know a lot of people wanted to see him thrown away without the key or whatever, but I feel like it's better for families to be together, even if one of them is a shitty person. Yes, he kind of destroyed their lives by having the cops break down his house. It was 2 weeks before the birthday, not on the birthday. I made that mistake on one of these previous streams. But yes, you can mend the fences. They're going to remember this forever, but you know what? You work every day to kind of fix it up. So I do agree with this point. But I don't agree with the second point, explaining the law to his audience while entertaining them and supporting his family. He does not like explaining the law. He has talked many times about how he hates the law. It was not a law channel. It was never a law channel. And he just wants to be in the Twin Cities getting hand jobs and drinking whiskey. That's all he wants. That's literally what he wants. When he says, I can't wait to get back to explaining the law, no, this is not true. He wants to get back to having attention and have money given to him by just being there. That's what he wants. I don't think he's hit rock bottom yet. He doesn't like maybe he enjoyed explaining the law in the beginning, but somewhere along the lines, I think what happened is because YouTube wasn't a job. It doesn't feel like a job when you first start it, but somewhere along the line, it becomes a job. And then when he acknowledged it as a job, he was like, well, this sucks. I don't want to be doing any of this. And this is evident because he just hasn't done any streams since he got arrested, basically. There's been a handful, of course, but I don't have to put out a statement on Twitter saying, guys, I really want to play the dinosaur game. I'm looking forward to playing the dinosaur game really soon. I just play the dinosaur game when I want to play it. Okay. Maybe I don't stream it, but if I want to do something, I do it. If Nick wanted to stream, he would have done it more because it's something he enjoyed. He said he was going to stream today. You know, when I played the song, you kind of missed it out. But oh, you know what? I'll show it later. Nick promised April 18th. Let's fucking go. It's been too long. Let's stream. Gets the results. All right, guys, I'm headed home. We're going to stream tonight. Nobody knows what we're talking about. Let's go. 2 hours later, no stream. Just working on some sound issues. It's going to be real soon, guys. No stream. Oh, streams tomorrow. Okay, we'll see. Also, maybe it's he's afraid. I think he's afraid of Minnesota public records, but we'll get to that. But I don't think he loves explaining the law to his audience. He just likes having attention. Okay, maybe that's fine. Nick could come back from this. I don't think he's got a future in explaining the law. There's always going to be an audience for there's always going to be some diehards, right? They'll never abandon him no matter what. They'll stick with him just to be defiant to the people that don't like him. So they'll watch his law content. But I feel like he needs to pivot out of the law content. He's too far out of the game. There are too many people that are doing it too well. Nick doesn't have the effort or the time to put together PowerPoints or make apps for his audience. What's her name? Shit, I forgot. Emily DeBaker. She's like Emily DeBaker's like a household name now. It's crazy. She's a really good example of what Nick could have been doing if he didn't, trade it all away for a crumb of Aaron's sloppy seconds. Anyway, in the years I've known Nick, I have known him to be generous with his time and helpful to anyone who wanted to know how to be successful on YouTube. I mean, maybe if you had a pair of tits, he was very helpful for a lot of women. I mean, and some men, of course, as well. But I don't know if this is true. He has a genuine desire to help others. Really? Has she seen Dear John? I don't think so. It's vile when you actually look at it. He has a genuine desire to help others, and he has helped me on many occasions, whether it was to give me advice on my channel or just be a friend and listen when I needed somebody to talk to. Nick is loyal. He's loyal. Kind. Well, he wasn't loyal to Kurt. Kind, empathetic, smart, and you know what? He's so smart. I'm not even joking. I need to see the transcript from today because allegedly the in-court people that we're going to see a little bit later on, Nick stood up and the first thing he said was, Your Honor, many people have told me I'm smart in my life. He literally said that. I'm not even joking. And then he goes on to say, we'll talk about it. But anyway. Smart, passionate about his work. He is a good friend, and good friends are rare. Let's see. He's loyal, kind, and empathetic. Let's take a look. Today, I'll remind them, chat. Let's see. This is Dear John. If you've never seen it, it's quite a wild ride from Alyssa Clips.
Why don't we come clean to the Kiwi Farmers?
John.
But how pathetic your life is. We judge everybody else's. So pathetic, John.
So the backstory of this, and this is like a 28-minute monologue about how he hates John. John was a guy that was on the edge. Like he literally was about to off himself, and he contacted Nick for help. Now, obviously, you don't have time for everyone to help everyone, of course. But one thing you don't do is spend 30 minutes telling them how pathetic they are and how to eat a bullet.
You had to pay $5 a month. I don't know how many blowjobs you gave or mashed potato cups you exchanged to get $5. You had to pay $5 a month to get the ability to message me. Instead of just saying, thank you for paying $5 a month. This is Rekietalaw. Engage in your interaction or whatever. I just said, hey, heard about what you're going through. If you need help.
This is really vile if you go through the entire thing. But anyway, it's a nice kind boy here. One time we might have to watch through it. It's a bit of a hard watch though. Anyway, let me see. So he's a good friend, and good friends are rare. I agree. Good friends are rare. I have also witnessed Nick's interactions with his children and know they deeply love him, and they share a loving, lighthearted banter that only loved children have with their parents. This is sweet thing to say, but I'm sorry, but this is a woman's heart's opinion. Children love their parents basically no matter what. Children love their parents and have banter with this is not the sole product of a loving and kind and fair environment. Children are programmed to love their parents. Children who have crack addict parents that sell them to people on the street still love their parents. If a child doesn't love their parents, they die. It's a biological imperative. Now, I do think that the children are doing well, barring a couple instances, of course. But saying this is only out of a loving, like, this is just not true. This is not true. This happens all the time in CPS cases, is that the kids are like, they're in the worst conditions possible and they still want to get back to their parents. Okay. I mean, think about it. Like, I won't say that. It is unmistakable that they love him and he them. Sure, I agree with that. Being a present father is important to Nick. Nick is also the main caregiver of his children. There's a bit of a slight. Is this a slight at Kayla? Responsible for all their transportation. Well, that's not true because the grandfather's supposed to be helping to school events and classes. His children would not be served by a separation of their father, and the state should not take a father from his children unless he is a danger to society, and it's a last option. I agree with this. I think that he needs to be on the outside, but getting better. Nick Rekieta is only capable of being a danger to himself. This is just simply not true, because he's a danger to his children. And he's a danger to other people's children. We know that. Now, I think that this government intervention and this probation will help set him straight, which is funny because basically that's the result of all of this, is that Nick has lost his adult card. He's been downgraded to child for the next 5 years, which is crazy because 5 years is a long time. 5 years probation, random testing. He's got a curfew basically. But no, Nick was a danger to his children. He was a danger to other people's children. He was a danger to Aaron's children. And you can even find this by just listening to his stream. He went and bought the Mustang, the midlife crisis mobile. And then rather than listen to the guy that said, like, maybe you should put some ice tires on this before you drive it home. Like, we can deliver it to you. He's like, no, I'll just drive it home. He drove home with his daughter in the front seat. They went through a fence after they went over some black ice. And, everyone was fine, thank God. But no, he's a danger to children all the time because he routinely speeds around the entire county and he routinely would drink until 3, 4, 5 in the morning, and then he'd have to be driving them like 2 hours later. You don't sober up in that time. That's dangerous behavior. And not only to mention leaving cocaine around the house, which we know that he did by both Aaron's account, where he said that the cocaine bullet dropped out of Nick's pocket, fell on the couch next to his 3-year-old, and also in the court filings, where Nick lied to the court. He said that I'm the only one with the key to this safe full of drugs. It always comes with me whenever I go out. No, because when the police caught you outside of your house and they battered down your door and went and got the ladies, there was coke all over. There was coke all over the bedroom, right on top of the mini fridge. So there was coke all around this place. So no, this was not a safe environment. Now, your kids are fine. Your kids are smart. Sure, probably. I'll agree with that. But that's lucky. Okay. So no, he's not a safe individual, but because this happened, hopefully he is now, and he has to learn to get better. And that's why this probation, as much as he talks about how much he hates the government has only improved his life from what I can see, which is embarrassing. If you literally need an adult to come and help you, which he does, which is why his father was helping him drive around the kids all the time, and why he was trying to remind him to pay his property taxes, which he didn't do. Anyway, where was I? So Nick is only a danger to himself, and I believe, I read that. All right, so next page of Megan's letter. All right. This is Nick's first offense against the law. I believe he can recover, and the community should invest in helping him do that. Everyone deserves a second chance. I agree with this. I mean, well, that's not true. Not everybody. There are some things which I think you guys know about. Murder or, essay sort of things. I don't think people deserve a second chance from that. I think that if you take something from someone like that, like someone's life or, their booty, you can't make that up and you should be removed from life. But anyway, everyone that does minor crimes deserves a second. Sure. Many other people have completed diversionary programs and recovered their lives. It is my belief that Nick Rekieta can recover his life and thrive after this unfortunate episode, which I remain hopeful is a temporary setback and otherwise amazing career in future. And you know what? I agree with this as well. I think that this would be great if he learned from this lesson and, made a life for the better. But his behavior so far doesn't seem like it. And Megan's actually going to say this in the letter itself, which is kind of crazy. This kind of ends on a really funny note. I hope the court sees the man I know. Well, I'm sorry, but I think the man that Megan knows is not the actual Nick. I think the Nick that Megan knows is the Nick that will say anything and do anything and be a real nice guy to try and get a bit of side action. Essentially, that's my belief. Now, I could be wrong, but that's what I see. What do you guys think? Let me see. I hope the court sees the man that I know, not the one who gossiped about for cheap laughs. He's talking about us and the Kiwi Farms. We're the ones that gossiping about him for cheap laughs, apparently. Which, you know what? This is really hypocritical. This is incredibly hypocritical because Megan's channel, I don't know what she, I think now she's covering the What the Hales, which she tried to get me into, but I wasn't really into it. But basically it's like a judge is being like really unfair to this YouTuber family or something. But no, like Johnny Depp, that was gossiping about people for cheap laughs. Now, Rittenhouse was a very interesting case because it had some self-defense issues and things like that. But the majority of the cases that Nick has covered through his entire career is gossiping and making fun of people for cheap laughs on the internet. I don't see the distinction. Now, like, obviously, I'm not friends with Nick. I was never friends with Nick. So it's not like people are saying that I snaked him. You can't snake someone that isn't your friend, okay? I did like his show. I thought he was entertaining, sure, but I was never friends with him, so I never snaked him. But talking about Nick's case is exactly the same as talking about Johnny Depp. It's exactly the same as talking about Russell Greer. It's exactly the same as talking about Maddox. It's exactly the same. And these people think that, like, well, no, we're different. And what is the difference? Why is Nick impervious to the insults and the ridicule and the scrutiny that he's subjected to other people? I find this one's really, like, I mean, obviously she's trying to help her friend, so she was just trying to make a nice letter. But like, if she actually believes this, this is just like, it doesn't make any sense. Am I wrong here? This seems crazy. He is a public figure. He is in the legal system. The entirety of Lawtube is about talking about wacky cases in the legal system and laughing about them, essentially, or just giggling or talking along with the chat. It's exactly the same. The only difference is that Nick is one of your friends, and that's why you don't like it. But anyway, I know he's the man I know and not the one gossip about for cheap laughs, or the persona. So look at this part. This part's crazy too. The persona fighting back against that gossip publicly. In this letter, Megan admits that Nick acting right now is acting a fool. She's like, look, people are making fun of him for cheap laughs, but he's not the man that's currently talking online. So she's like saying, look, Nick's a great guy. The guy talking in Melton's chat, the guy that's trying to get Aaron like to eat his goo, the guy that's trying to get Aaron like taken away forever, but instead he gets away free for one Kayla freedom unit. She's saying, like, this isn't the real Nick. Okay, look, Judge, I know how this looks. I know how you've seen all the videos. I know how you see him spurging on Twitter 12 hours a day. That's not the real Nick. Okay, just trust. I know the real Nick. And so even she admits that he hasn't taken accountability and that he just looks like a fool recently, which I think plays into this verdict that we're going to get. The Nick I know is a man who loves his family, helps those around him, makes mistakes, and then inspires others to be good humans. Well, you know what? He did inspire me to be a better human, at least in my opinion. Nick is also deeply remorseful of any harm or pain that he has caused his children and family. He may not discuss it publicly, but privately he is devastated, and he should be. Many times, now this part is also crazy, and I'll get to these chats in a second. Many times, Nick has used his platform to raise money for audience members in need by advertising their GoFundMe accounts. Okay. Oh, actually, sorry, I'm thinking about the next one. That's the one from the lawyer, from what's his name, the Barnes Walker. Nightly, he would talk about them and their struggles, including thoughts of self-harm. And he did talk about Self-John, that's for sure. And always encourage them to find something to smile about, unless you're John, and try again. I have heard from many individuals who've told me, Nick Rekieta saved my life after reaching out to Nick in a dark time and finding someone who cared to respond. I pray the court will honor the plea agreement in this case and refer Nick for probation. Sincerely, Megan Fox, journalist, not the actor, not the one with toes for thumbs. All right. So I think that was the best letter. I think there's a lot of problems with it, but as a letter itself, it's pretty good. I think it did a good job of showing why Nick should be out. Now, where is the one from this is it, right? Sorry, I should have led with this one. All right. So this is the defendant sentencing memorandum. This is the one that I wanted to read. So this is just before the day. We're almost there, chat. We're almost there. Before I get into this one, I will read these ones. Let's see. Cat Away for 5 says, I remember part of why Farron left was because of Drexel, Legal Mindset, and Branca going full MGTOW on her, crashing out and leaving Lawtube. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of things. I think the main thing was the drunk stream that she had, where she like kicked her legs back and everything like that, because that's when Nick actually went and told, was it Divinity or Alyssa to take that off their channel, sort of thing. But that certainly played a part of it. Absolutely, was the when Branca called his what did Branca do? He called his sister a cunt, I think. And I like Farron's sister, and I like Branca too, actually. But that was a very funny moment. Branca was very drunk though. But it was like Kino to see on the screen. And Axie with the 5 says, judging from how much money most streamers make covering this, I would say it's far from cheap. Well, probably. I mean, I did pretty well for myself. I've got to set the new goal, chat. Start another goal. Let me see. What should we do for the goal? Oh, now I have to pay Pepsi, man. What should the funny goal be? Nick streams tomorrow. If we hit the goal, Nick will stream tomorrow and Minnesota Public Records will come out. All right. So let's see. This is from the Barnes Walker, I believe. State of Minnesota District Court, 8th Judicial District Criminal Division. Defendant Sentencing Memorandum. Pertinent facts. Mr. Rekieta, herein defendant, stands convicted of possession of 10 grams or more of a narcotic drug other than heroin or fentanyl, or drugs in the 3rd degree. Defendant entered a guilty plea. As part of the guilty plea, the defendant received a statutory stay on adjudication. The remaining terms of the sentence are at the court's discretion. Pre-sentence investigation report was ordered and has been filed with the court. Now, the pre-sentence investigation report would be very interesting to see. If it comes out, we might have to do another stream tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. That would be very... I wonder what was in this. However, this is currently confidential, so we can't know. What do you think's in there, chat? What do you think's in there? Also, sorry if I haven't been paying as much attention to you. I'll read the chat more when we're going through the video content. Arguments. The pre-sentence investigation report notes the defendant falls in a low risk for general recidivism in comparison to other individuals with similar characteristics. Well, yes, because he's rich and white. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, some people say, like, oh, why'd you call him white? Well, like, Nick actually skewed the statistics in his county because there's so few white offenders. He's like 20% of all the white drug arrests, essentially. Like, it's kind of crazy, that fact. Defendant will need to demonstrate positive pro-social adjustment in the following areas in order to reduce potential for recidivism: leisure, recreation, and alcohol and drugs. Yes. The PSIR notes that the conditions, programming, and interventions contained in the recommendations section of this report are meant to aid the subject in successfully addressing those areas while promoting public safety. Additionally, legislature has the exclusive authority to define crimes and offenses and the range of sentences or punishments for their violation. No other or different sentence or punishment shall be imposed for the commission of a crime than authorized by this chapter or other applicable law. The PSIR recommends the defendant serve 30 days jail. Credit 2 days. You know what is funny? Is that's what he got. Okay. So the recommendation was that he served 30 days in jail. He has credit for 2 days from May 23rd. However, this recommendation is not born out of any specific facts in the PSIR. Why do I keep saying PC? So it's kind of funny because this is what it recommends, but they're like, Your Honor, look, we know it recommends 30 days, but we want him to do 0. Well, request denied, unfortunately. It seems more that this boilerplate language inserted in the report rather than the considered and reasoned recommendation of a trained probation agent. Indeed, it is hard to conceive how this recommendation is meant to aid the subject in successfully addressing those areas while promoting public safety. Well, the deterrent, the thing is that nothing ever happens. Nothing ever happens. So if he spent, like, 30 days isn't a long time. 30 days is like basically nothing. If we're being honest, 30 days is basically nothing. You know, if you've got to be at work, you've got an important job, sure, that's a long time to be away. It's a long time to be away from your kids. The 30 days is like that short enough of a time where it doesn't really affect your life that much, but it's long enough to make you think about what you did. So putting Nick in jail for 30 days would actually teach him, like, oh, wait a minute, I can't just get away with everything in life. That's the idea. Now, would it be better if he stays with his kids? I don't know. I think probably, but 30 days. Well, like, guys, look, 30 days of butt stuff ain't easy. It's 30 days in jail, not 30 days in federal pound me in the ass prison. Although some people have told me that jail's worse than prison. I don't know. I guess it depends on America. But anyway, that's the idea, is that 30 days will teach you a bit of a lesson that this isn't a joke. Start getting your act together. It's also 30 days away from any types of substances. And also, I have a bit of a... we'll talk about that after the sentencing. Let me see. Where were we? Jail should be reserved as a sanction for violation of a probation condition and is not a workaround by the state for the stay of adjudication defendant received. The length of probation appears to be a similar problem. The PSIR recommends a term of probation of 5 years. That's what he got. 5 years is like really long, though. And I think everyone in Lawtube, they got like the Lawtube Avengers together today. They even got their like arch nemesis of good logic, Pisco, to join. I think Pisco is like a refugee. Like he used to be Destiny's lawyer. Lawyer bro friend, but now he's like Destiny's got that Diddy stuff going on or whatever. So like I think that Pisco is like trying to find a new group of people, and now he's like on laid back law, which is fine. It's nice to have a dissenting opinion on things, but it's kind of funny to see him in that group. But everyone's kind of shocked at this. It's a long time. Like when I was watching this this clip from earlier today, which I'll reference. Not this one, sorry. It was. Oh shit! Did I close it? No, it was this one. This is a Chill Friday Friends stream. So in this is a 5-hour stream. I went through this looking for a specific quote to talk to you guys about. But in this stream, one of the things that happens is Legal Vices, God rest his soul, good friend, and miss him every day. He said that one of the best things about being a father was sharing that first whiskey with your son on their 21st birthday. Nick's probation is so long that his kid's going to be like, I think like 23 by the time 22, 23. So when his son is old enough to have that first sip of whiskey in America, like in my country, it's like 18, but it's like 21 in America, right? Because of Nick's actions, being derelict in his fatherly duties, if he wants to have a whiskey with his son on his 21st birthday, he's going to have to break probation. Think about that. These are the little things. Like, this is a long time. Anyway. Let's see. The recommendation was 5 years. Again, however, no facts in the PSIR support the recommended length of probation. Instead, the recommendation appears to be wholly conclusory. Similarly, it is hard to conceive how this recommendation is meant to aid the subject in successfully addressing those areas while promoting public safety. I mean, I think it's very long, but obviously the reason is that, like, well, you got to be good for a long time. You get used to it. You know, people change. Like, you're not the same person you were 5 years ago. People's personalities radically change. Additionally, the court may defer further proceedings and place the person on probation upon such reasonable conditions as it may require for a period, not to exceed the maximum sentence provided by the violation. However, in this case, the recommended deferral period is 21 months. It would both defy logic and common sense to defer adjudication for 21 months while simultaneously placing defendant on probation for a period of 60 months. I thought the recommendation, like, I think most people were expecting 2 to 3 years. That seems reasonable. Like, even just 1 year, I'd probably be happy with, because like an entire year is I think that's a good amount of time to change your habits and behavior and realize what's really important in life. But you know, I'm not a legal professional. I'm a non-practicing non-lawyer, just like Nick at the moment, because he hasn't paid his dues. That's another thing I should have mentioned, is actually Nick is not licensed to practice. So when Megan was saying in her letter that he wants to get back to talking about the law or back to helping people with the legal things, he can't. I mean, it's a simple thing to fix, but you know, as it stands, he's not a lawyer right now. He's not disbarred yet. But you never know. Let me see. The PSIR recommends that defendant complete 80 hours of community service work. That's what he got. Oof. This is the hardest part, I think. Do you guys think about this? What would you think Nick would rather do? 80 hours of work or 30 days sitting in a jail? 1 for, you think Nick would rather sit in a jail. 2 for, he would rather do 80 hours of work. I bet he's going to try and say, like, he's teaching like whatever that class that kicked him out. He used to teach constitutional law, I think, in his homeschool co-op. I bet he's going to say that that's work. He's like, oh, can I credit that for work already? Can I stream and do community service? No. No, Nick, you got to go bend over and pick up those cans on the road. It's kind of funny because, like, I watched Better Call Saul very recently, and it is very fun to see all the references and in the references compared to Lawtube and Nick's particularly. Because McGill had to do his own community service too. That's going to be Nick. It's like it's just so perfect. Anyway. However, this recommendation is wholly conclusory. The recommendation links to no facts in the report that support the recommendation. Similarly, it is hard to conceive how this recommendation is meant to aid the subject in successfully addressing those areas while promoting public safety. It's like, at this point, why do we give community service to anybody? Why do we give probation to anybody? If you're just saying, well, like, yeah, this is the recommendation, then why do we do it? Okay, that's a good question. Maybe we should just abolish all of this. Like, you haven't given a reason why Nick shouldn't do it. That's my question. As the letter submitted in with the sentencing memorandum demonstrate, defendant is a very active member of his community. Maybe his locals community. I don't know about the rest. He has continued to be active and involved in his church. Is that the one that he changed to recently because he couldn't stand the prying eyes of those traitorous dogs in that church that ratted him out? During the pendency of these charges, defendant is currently restricted from the practice of law, so he's not a lawyer, despite having a Minnesota attorney registry number. As the PSIR noted, the defendant's business allowed him to donate hundreds of thousands of dollars to charity. Now, I want to talk about this for a second. And indirectly, $1 million plus by encouraging my audience. What? Is this weird? Did they change the pronouns here? Whatever. First of all, when it says it allowed him to directly donate hundreds of thousands of dollars, is he talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars? Do you remember that Joker painting? I'm the Joker, baby. The one that he signed as Joker. Well, actually, I think that was made up. But that painting is allegedly worth $40,000 to $50,000. I don't believe that. But like I said, I have a theory that part of the trust fund has a certain number he can give to charity every year as part of the trust payouts. And if donating hundreds of thousands of dollars is actually what they mean by that is, well, he bought paintings that were worth hundreds of thousands of dollars as tax write-offs. I'm not sure I count this one. I'm sorry. What do you mean? What charity? Show us the numbers. I don't quite believe this. If $40,000 goes to a painting and he's given hundreds of thousands, that's like basically 40% right there. Now, it does say hundreds, so it's supposed to be multiples, of course. But I think he goes to these events. Like, he's buying like guitars from that guy from Waterworld. What's his name? Oh, shit, I'm really bad with names. You know the guy, the main actor from Waterworld. He bought that guy's guitar. Is that a charitable donation? And let's see. He's indirectly $1 million plus by encouraging my audience. Is he counting Vic Mignogna's lawsuit in this? Kevin Costner, thank you. Kevin Costner's. He bought Kevin Costner's guitar at a charity auction. Is that the charitable donations? So if you count Vic Mignogna's GoFundMe, indirectly $1 million, that's like $350,000 right there. Is that what they're talking about? So because people gave money to Vic Mignogna, that's the millions of dollars given to charity. I'm sorry, this is a big fucking stretch. This statement's here. I need to see some sources on this. I need to see some fucking sources. If literally a third of this indirect million that my audience gave, it was literally the bill that he sent to Vic Mignogna by fucking up his court case with Ty Beard's lazy notarization. Damn it, Nick, we lost the case again. Yeah, it was funny then. Not so funny now for Vic, is it? In this case, Kandiyohi County Community Corrections has failed to deliver to this court an adequate pre-sentence investigation report. Well, we'll have to see what happens, right, if we read that. Very little in the PSIR reflects anything that would be considered a reasoned conclusion that aids the court in properly sentencing the defendant. Accordingly, this court should stay adjudication and place defendant on probation for a period of 12 months. Why? Like 12 months. Is that too like I said, I could probably live with 12 months, but it's like, so he's saying I don't see that they've made no argument. Where's the fucking argument? He's like, all right, to boil this down to like a short 1 paragraph sentence. They said, basically, we did an investigation. The investigation said and recommends 30 days in jail, 80 hours community service, and 5 years probation. That's interesting. We don't have any argument, but here's our counter offer. 12 months probation. Why? What is this guy doing? I hope this guy didn't cost a lot. Where's the argument? He did support Kick Fix Back. Okay, very good, very good. I think I read this one, right? Wait, no, did I read this one? Cat and Away with 5 says Megan is talking about Nick's persona like it's his MK Ultra alter or something. That's the thing, is I wonder if like John is like his alternate personality. Sometimes I wonder that. Yeah, but we actually know that Nick's alternate personality is the Joker, because he sees himself as a Joker. When he bought the Joker painting, he frames it in like a mirror frame, and he just goes up there and every morning and he like goes up and like fixes his little tie and everything. He's the Joker. Just one bad day, chat, and you could be the Joker too. Thank you for the 5. That's thank you for the other one as well. And future Mrs. Martin 2.0. How's it going, Mrs. Sean? Says Sean said to go check out Kurt right now. He's at Denny's. There's no fucking way. All right, chat. We briefly interrupt this broadcast. Wait, what is it? Do we watch this? So Sean, potentially Mrs. Sean was correct. Uncivil Law, as of 30 minutes ago, was at a Denny's. All right, we gotta like the video right now.
Thank you so much.
You're ready in a couple more minutes.
Let me do.
And the stream was called. Rekietalaw was right after all.
The moon's over my hammy, please.
All right, just the way it comes. Or you want fries, seasoned fries, onion rings instead of the hash browns?
No, hash browns I think will be fine.
Hash browns, okay. Anything else?
No, that'd be fine for now. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Do you need this one?
Yeah, let me hold on to it for a second. Thanks.
Can we get some W Kurtz in the chat? Like this is just a straight up fucking win. I'm sorry, it's getting humid in my house now. Oh my goodness, this is a fucking W from Uncivil. All right, does he know what he ordered? All right, do we go back and watch this at the end? Look, maybe we'll do extended show goal and we watch the entire 20 minutes of Kurt and the Denny's. Is there any choice, like Mrs. Sean, is there any good choice timestamps in this? I need to see. All right, I'm gonna put that to the back. That is very, very funny, and I can't believe it. Actual, like everything Kurt has done in the past is redeemed. Anyone that's still mad about the copyright stuff, Kurt is 100% redeemed. He is now like, it's like, everyone forget about the everything. The icy hot, forget about that. All the everything. Kurt is a good boy, done nothing wrong. This is just straight up W. This is too funny. This is too fucking funny. Oh my goodness. Oh, look at so much content came out of the sector. Okay. So we got to the end of this document, right? Thank you very much for that. Holy shit. All right. I think that's the end of the documents, which brings us to today. Today, here we go. This is where the fun begins, chat. This is where the fun begins. Oh wait, sorry. In regards to Kurt going to Denny's.
Now it's time to see which of our stories are based. Was this story based? Yes. Was this story based? Yes, it was. If you thought this story was based, you're right. This tale of a mysterious force protecting a pharmacy is based. Is this?
Right, very based by Kurt. You love to see it. Disloyal Kurt, I made you. Well, that's the funny thing about like the father's letter is he says, and I guess Megan's as well. He's like he made Lawtube. He's like, I made you, you disloyal rats. But thank you very much for 8 months. All right. So as of Good Friday, the best Friday actually, it was like it was 18th, right? I didn't know they had court on Good Friday. Isn't Good Friday like a holiday? A happy Good Friday. Praise it. If you had a Good Friday, be sure to like the stream. Okay. All right. Here we have the order. Sentencing date, April 18th, 2025. Count 1. These are the warrant of commitment. Case charges. Drugs, 3rd degree, possessing 10 grams or more of narcotic drugs other than heroin or fentanyl. Penalty statute, then you've got the number. Drugs, 3rd degree, sale or possession penalty, 20 years or $250,000 as a maximum fine. and that is disposition. It is stay under 15.2.818. Controlled substance. And then we also have the 2 dismissed charges because the state dropped these charges. They dropped possession of ammo of any firearm used of a controlled substance. This one doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't see why you can't have guns and alcohol, but you can have guns and drugs. Or you can't have guns and drugs, but you can have guns and alcohol. I don't think this should be a law, but it is the law, whatever. But endangering a child was dropped as well. That is a bit of a mystery for me, but it is what it is, right? It is their first offense. It is their first offense. All right. Terms of a disposition or sentence. Count 1. Offense, drugs, 3rd degree, possesses 10 grams. Offense date was on March 23rd. And offense disposition, stay under 152.18, controlled substance. Successful completion of probation will result in a dismissal. So if Nick is a good boy for 5 long years, then it's all wiped away. It's like he didn't do nothing. But like, he's going to be like almost, wait, how old is Nick? Like, isn't Nick like 44 or something? Or 43? He's almost going to be 50 when this is done. Anyway, sentence details. Count 1. Local confinement ordered on April 18th. Defendant is sentenced to 30 days in the Candy Ojai County Jail. We got him, boys. We got him. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. Defendant is to serve 30 days. Credit for the time served is in 2 days. May be deferred of complaint with probation. Now, apparently this is a typo. It's supposed to be may be deferred if complaint with, compliant. There. May be deferred if compliant with probation. Start date, August 1st. Now, I think everyone kind of assumed this. Like, this isn't a big surprise. But basically, it reads that if Nick is a good boy, then he won't actually have to serve the time. The question is, can he stay sober and a good boy and get on his knees and beg the court to be don't send him in? Can he make it, chat? We're going to do a quick poll for this. We're going to do a quick poll before I get into the video part. Start a poll. Will Nick make it? Yes, no. We'll see. August. There we go. Let me see. This is ordered on April 18th. Defendant is placed in supervised probation for 5 years. What year is it? 22. It's going to be 2030. His probation ends in 2030. This is a long, long time. Holy shit. Conditions. And these are the conditions of his probation. This is crazy. Well, I mean, it's not too crazy for probation, but for 5 years, it's crazy. Ordered on April 18th, defendant must comply with the following conditions. Do not possess alcohol or drugs except as prescribed. So, you know his whiskey collection? He allegedly got rid of it already, right? But he can't even have any alcohol in the house. There can't be any parties at his house. The kids can't celebrate their 21st party at his house. They can't bring any alcohol to his house. He can't possess any alcohol. 5 years. No alcohol or drugs except for whatever the drugs he has for, and allergies or whatever. Random testing. Submit to random drug and alcohol testing as directed by an agent and or law enforcement. Must submit a baseline test as soon as possible. Now, I kind of wonder, like, since this is ordered on April 18th, does this count from yesterday? Because he may just be getting blitzed tonight. Like, if this doesn't count, if this is effective from today, I assume it's effective from today. But if it's not effective until tomorrow, maybe the reason he didn't stream is because he just wanted to have his last day. Glug, 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 glug. You never know. You never know. But if you're celebrating no probation for 5 years, maybe tip one up for this good Friday treat. Even though it's just water. Maybe if we hit the goal, I'll make myself a Stoney's Ultimate Bloody Mary, but we'll see about that. Cognitive skill training. Cooperate with cognitive skill programming as directed by your aging. So they're going to teach him how to think again. Because his thinking is so fucked up. They're going to send him to re-education. I mean, to be fair, this is true because he thinks that kids won't give a shit if their mama's an OnlyFans slag. Oh my goodness. So he does need some re-education. Sign probation agreement. Agreement sign and comply with probation agreement and meet with agent as directed. Also, I didn't say it, but like 5 years of random testing, that's like such an annoyance. You want to go on holiday? I want to go on holiday. I want to go to Hedonism 3. And they're like, do they have drugs there? Yes. You can't go. Or you have to wear a patch the entire time you're there. Oh man, you're not allowed to wear patches. It's nude Fridays or whatever. 5 years of being sent to bed early by the government, essentially. 5 long years kneeling before daddy government. You know, have your parents ever like woken you up in the middle of the night and they like look in your eye and they're like shine light in your eye, like, are you high? That's what the government's going to be doing. That actually did happen to me once. Like my parents, like I came home and I had really dilated pupils. I never did drugs though, which is funny. I wasn't drinking or anything either. And they're like, are you high? I'm like, no. I was just walking around in the dark. But that's what it's going to be for him for like 5 years. The government's just going to show up at any time of the hour. Show me them pupils, boy. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is a bad one for freedom lovers. Press F in the chats now if you're an American. He's not allowed to possess firearms, ammunition, or explosives. No guns allowed for 5 years. So he won't be able to shoot any raccoons or skunks that are just trying to escape his barn. He has to knife them all. He's not allowed to shoot them anymore. But I guess you can drag them through the yeah, can we get some like eagles or some American flags or something? No guns allowed for 5 years. That's the hardest one. Obtain permission from agent before leaving the state. Oh, he wants to go party with Melton and the puppet in Vegas. You need permission from the government. You want to go over to Canada and get some maple syrup or some shit? You need permission from the government. Wait, what states border Minnesota? I don't even know. Minnesota. I need to see it on a map. All right, let me see. All right, you want to go to Winnipeg? Permission from the government. You want to go to Ontario? Permission from the government. You want to go to Wisconsin? Permission from the government. You want to go to Iowa? Potatoes? Nice. That's all I know about that. You want to go to North and or South Dakota? Permission from the government. Oh my goodness. What a wild. Let me see. Follow all state and federal laws, obviously. Contact your probation officer as directed. Tell your probation officer within 72 hours if you have contact with law enforcement, if you are charged with a new crime, if you change your address, employment, or telephone number. Well, he's unemployed, so that won't be a problem. Sign release of information as directed. Cooperate with a search of your person, residence, vehicle, workplace, property. So no secret sex dungeon behind the kids' library. That's not going to happen. You're not allowed to have that anymore because the government might show up any time and ask to check your baldo. Like literally, they could just show up and like, all right, show me that streaming computer. Let's see what anime you've been watching, Nicky boy. Let me see. And also follow all recommendations from the Divine Hope Counseling dated 9/11. Oh my gosh, 2024. 9/11. I guess this is America though, so isn't it like month? Yeah, no, it's month first. It's weird like that. Service ordered on April 18th. Defendant is ordered to perform community service work of 80 hours. Yeah, no warrants needed. No warrants needed. So the Barnes defense isn't going to work this time. They're allowed to check him and they're allowed to check on him for the next 5 long years. I'm sure that maybe there's like good behavior or something you can get out of it. But we're going to go into the clown segment. This is literally a picture from outside the Candy Yohai courthouse today, and Nick actually talked about this. We're going to go right into this after a brief message from our sponsor of tonight's channel. All right, I'll be right back, but you shouldn't go anywhere because you've got to hear about the deals that you can find when I can find it. Where the fuck is the button for this? God damn it, where is it? Oh my god, I can't. Oh, here it is. All right, we'll be right back. I'm going to wash my hands.
Are you tired of drinking alone or worse, with boring people? Hi Minnesota, I'm Meme McGill, and do you want to experience the kind of atmosphere where the drinks flow as freely as the gossip? Then come on down to Stoney's in Rockville, Minnesota. At Stoney's, we don't just serve drinks, we serve connections. Some legal, some not so much. Need a spot to discuss your latest scheme, or just want to unwind after a long day of avoiding responsibilities? Well then come on down to Stoney's where the drinks are cold and the secrets are spicier than our famous Ultimate Bloody Marys. Whether you're planning your next big hustle or just looking for a good time, Stoney's is the place to be. We've got pool tables, karaoke nights, and the only thing more colorful than our drinks is our clientele. Hey, look, you didn't hear this from me, but did somebody say $2 cans on Thirsty Thursdays? Why settle for ordinary when you can have extraordinary? At Stoney's Bar, every night's a wild card, and the house always wins. Unless you're buying the next round. Just remember that what happens at Stoney's stays at Stoney's. Well, that is until the next town hall meeting. Just check out all of our testimonials. Stoney's Bar, Rockville, Minnesota.
And we're back. We're back in Minnesota. All right. So we don't have a transcript of the events yet. I think they're raising like $160, but it might be released tomorrow. It might be released tomorrow. So the day started off early, Candy, Ojai County, and there was a person in the courtroom, Vanessa. But I have to explain the backstory of this this is like a what's the word? It's like it's a reunion episode. Okay. So who are this elite team? Vanessa, the on-the-ground reporter. She's in the courtroom reporting the events and watching the clown live. Nova is the one that exposed the text between Farron and Nick, where he early admitted to swinging. And let's be honest, like in retrospect, it is pretty obvious that Kayla cheated on Nick well before their swinging relationship started. And it seems like the swinging was the cope to keep things going, because Kayla would like disappear for like 8 hours out of a day or something. She would just go to the shop and be like, oh, I met John, and then missing for 8 hours, not picking up the phone, and then she'd just come back. And this was a common occurrence. Nick, I believe, talked about this on his streams, but other people have said it too. Divinity Set is an interesting character. So she's like the original Alyssa Clips, but she actually has like kind of like a long-standing, I wouldn't call it a beef, but they had a bit of a social faux pas we'll talk about. Beautifully inappropriate. Doesn't have that much to do with Nick, but she's like a friend of the show, I guess. And she's just kind of she's been on a lot of the side shows. Like you've got not side shows, but there was other shows like there was back in the day there was Madcore, there was Shizzy, there's The Expert. There's like these little channels that were kind of all sort of growing at the same time as Nick was like doing very well. And she was on some of those things. But I'll show you who Divinity is, and this is the funniest thing. Let me see. Where is it? All right. So Divinity used to do clipping channels. She used to clip content, and she got copyright struck. And I believe she got copyright struck by Kurt. Now, this is no longer admissible as evidence because Kurt is redeemed of all of his problems because he went to Denny's and ordered the moon over my hammy. But this is after she got struck, Nick came out about it and said, like, don't copyright strike. That's bad. Okay. But now he's threatening to copyright strike people if they don't do transformative content. But so she was like a longtime fan of Nick. She would clip a lot of his content, but then she went on to this stream. And I believe this is when his YouTube channel was removed, but then it came back. But they're on Locals. Rumble. This was called Chill Down Friday Stream. And there's a couple choice moments I want to play here, which are interesting. This is the first one. So this one isn't related to Divinity, but it's just kind of funny that I found it when we were going through it. So Nick's talking about sending his kids to regular school. Oh, it's muted? Okay, great.
And I'd have this big block. They could just go, because homeschooling's fucking hard. And there's a lot of times where you go,
you got me.
You know what? I could just send them to public school. I could just send them to private school. I could just do this other thing. I don't have to drive. They could go at 6 a.m. They'd come back at 4:30, and I'd have this big block of time to just watch Star Trek or whatever.
What?
No.
This is kind of funny because when I was like, I didn't realize that Kayla would be so offended by the idea of watching Star Trek all day. She's like, wait a minute. It's like her brain is like, wait, what? What do you mean watch Star Trek all day? I don't watch Star Trek all day. No, I was like, no. I was talking about me. If I didn't have to drive anyone. So that's just kind of, that doesn't have anything to do with it. I just found that like as a thing. All right. We want to go to 4 hours and 36 minutes. This is what funny thing happened. There's a large-breasted Nick on the screen.
Oh, I'm assuming.
So don't just ignore that for a second. This is really funny because there's something that I think I've never really mentioned to anyone here.
That your husband sees of like people that.
So, Divinity, she was in hot water. She finally got on Next Channel. This is her first appearance, and then she does she fucks up. She fucks out, and it offends the Bordeaux Lord.
How does Lady Rackets feel about like all the tits that your husband sees of like people that are like always around? Whatever, all the tits. I don't know. I'm
like, wait, what?
Only one person who has posted their tits in locals chats, and
this is news to me.
I scrambled.
His wife is seething. His wife like, wait a minute, what?
To delete it immediately.
Oh, I deleted the tits.
I deleted the tits. Delete it immediately.
That's not, the locals chat's not important. What about the ones you're DMing, like Farron?
This has a no nudity, no pornography rule, and Mandy broke that rule. It's not.
This is when Sean was a good boy.
I did not want her to post breasts in the
her
chat.
own breast?
Yes.
How do you know it's her own breast?
This is funny though, because Kayla is so zonked out on Star Trek, but she's still thinking. So she says the words, "How do you know it was her own breasts or even breasts at all?" Like, listen to this. Nick didn't even think about this for a second.
Not want her to post breasts in the
her
chat.
own breast?
Yes.
How do you know it's her own breast?
Well, I don't technically know.
Good answer.
She said it was
Good response. How do you know they're her breasts? Well, it turns out they weren't. They weren't. But what I never mentioned about this is that I only really ever spoke to Nick once in private. We crossed streams a couple times. But there was only one time where I was invited to a birthday party stream, and Nick stuck around and chatted for a while. And I took the opportunity to ask him, what was it like? What was it like when Divinity asked your wife about all the tits you've seen? And then he went on like a 2-minute tirade. He was like, that bitch. And it was just because Divinity was never welcome back. Divinity was never mentioned again. She was never featured again. So that was kind of fun. He seethed about that moment. Now, they recovered pretty well. It was the end of the stream. They were just kind of reading the super chats. Speaking of reading super chats, Jamie Moodley says, "Disloyal Kurt, I made you." I think I read that one already. Fatty Caddy with a 5 says, "The kids are done. The girls are going to be the first." What? The kids are going to be on the first brown. The girls are going to be on the first brown who gives them a line. They will drop more bastards than us drop bombs on Tokyo. Hopefully not. Come on now, man. Palmore gifted 5, count them, 5 memberships. Thank you very much. And did the chat freeze for a second? I think it did. I'll get to that in a second. Robert Glock with a 10 says, "Theory, Nick's family gave the okay, even encouraged the PSI and or the judge to hit Nick with a longer paper term with the restrictions. By the way, Minnesota takes a day off a jail term for every 2 days. Good time. Interesting. Didn't know about that." And Sporkmaster64 says, "Howdy, memesters. Remember, don't do drugs." That's good advice. That's good advice. I've never done drugs, actually. All right. I need to fix this chat up. Now, this is the Divinity said being clipped by Alyssa clips on the events of the courthouse. And this is pretty funny.
You guys hear me?
All right, let's see.
Okay.
Oh my goodness, the tabs just crashed. All right. Let's try to restore this tab. My tabs. Look at those tabs. There
You
we
guys hear me?
We can.
All right, can you guys hear
Okay.
this?
Do you want to like
Hopefully
ask
this
me
is working
questions? Because I don't know.
I mean, hold on. Yes, I do. I kind of
yes,
want to know.
yes, I have questions before.
Do you remember I told you he had a wife and a girlfriend? Were the wife and the girlfriend there?
The wife was there. The girlfriend did not show up.
Okay.
I'm
Good
assuming.
news.
April didn't show up to her man. Now, April has disappeared. She's allegedly deleted all of her contacts and everything. So we don't know. We don't know. Nova in chat saying Nova was too powerful. Look, Nova was right about the hedonism and everything. So I'll admit that much.
Probably thought it would look better if he didn't have his wife and his like mistress there.
Yeah, that's good call. Yeah.
That's a good call.
So I think it was his mom that was with his wife. She looked like really sad.
Was his dad there?
Huh?
Was his dad there?
I'm assuming so. There were like 2 other men that were in the back. One looked like he was maybe younger. I don't know if he has like an older son.
17, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think that his dad was there, but if he's married to his mom, then they weren't sitting together, so maybe not.
Okay.
I had a
Okay.
lot of anxiety sitting in there. I don't know if I could just like feel everybody else's anxiety, but it was
Yeah.
So Nick's casting the dark aura. We've actually heard about this dark aura in the past. Mrs. K, Lady K, the one that interviews with Will Heron, she has described Nick's dark, negative vibe aura, where he looms over people and gives them the spooky stare.
Feel yours, and we have it.
he kept like making eye contact with me, so he obviously probably knew that I was there to like report for you. So that was a little awkward, but he did.
No, he's probably like, honestly, like Vanessa looks pretty fine. So he's probably looking at her and he's like, oh, I wonder if I could replace Kayla with this one as well. That's probably what's happening. He's probably sizing her up to initiate her into the cult. Once he gets away with all of this, he thought he's probably going to get a much lighter sentence. I think everyone, including himself, was shocked at what he got. Like 12 months probation, that'd be easy to do. I mean, not easy, but like 12 months probation, much easier than 5 years and 80 hours community service.
Get sentenced 30 days. He had
no, such a piece of shit. Look at him. Yeah. No, it's great. You're fine. This is the first time that I think people heard about it too.
2 jail days that he had already done, so they're taking that off. So 28 days. And he's
28 days.
That on August 1st.
A female cycle. Nick's going to jail for a female cycle.
Say it again. What'd you say?
He's due to report for that on August 1st, 7 p.m. He has to do 80 hours of community service. He cannot use any alcohol, no medication unless prescribed, obviously, things like that. It was kind of funny because...
For how long?
Sorry. 28 days later. Yes. That's the jail term story. Coming in
5
April,
years?
28 days.
5 years
28 days
probation.
Oh, shit. There is a God.
What else? Okay, so the judge obviously asked, like the people that were like trying to get him more time. What are they called?
Prosecution?
Yeah. Would that be like the offense attorney?
The prosecution?
Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm talking about.
Look, Vanessa looks good enough. She doesn't need to know any of these things, okay? She doesn't need to know what the prosecution's called.
He had asked them, what they think that he should get, and they obviously get 5 years probation, 5 years jail time, I think is what they wanted. And
I
then
need to see this transcript. 5 years jail time. He must have shit his pants when they heard that.
when they asked his attorney, he was like, well, he's had no prior offenses in his youth, and he's well loved by the community, and blah blah blah, and he's done all these great things. And then when they asked him if he had anything to say, he said, "Yes, Your Honor, I'd love to." And
This is too good. Listen to this part. This is so fun. This is why I need to see the transcript.
he said, "I've always been called smart by everyone." And then
Was this story based on? Yes.
Your Honor, everybody says I'm a smart man, which is why I'm here pleading for my freedom today. This is why I threw my life away. Your Honor, they've always called me a smart boy. Well, not so smart anymore, are we?
No!
yeah, the judge looked at him like, "Is this dude serious?"
Oh, no. We need why isn't there a camera footage for this? No, I need to see the judge rolling his eyes. Judge Wenchel seems pretty based, honestly.
He said, after making all these well decisions in my life, you begin to think that you're smart. I put my children through something that I can't undo.
Your Honor, I have to be like, Your Honor, after being given hundreds of thousands of dollars from my rich oil parents, I just decided I was better than other people. They're too stupid to know how to get a house, 2 houses with no mortgage, while you go through night school and working at $38,000 a year at Wells Fargo's. Your Honor, I figured I was just smarter because I was smart enough to be born into money. Now, the money came later. That's the smart part. You get to live the child poverty cycle and pretend you came from poverty while actually getting the money of multi-hundred millionaires who donate hospital wings to people. Holy shit. Your Honor, I'm just too smart. Oh, my goodness. He's a smart boy. That is just too fucking funny.
I'm impressed with my wife, community, and my children, and I'm very sorry. And he just went on, and the judge kind of
Rolled his eyes.
yeah, rolled his eyes, and he said,
Judge Wenzel for the win.
yeah, the judge basically was like, you say that you've always been called smart, but with your degrees and what you know, you knew what you were doing, you knew what you were jeopardizing.
He fucking played himself. He's like, Your Honor, I'm really smart. People always told me I'm smart. It's like, so you knew what you were doing was wrong. And it's like, at this moment, he knew he fucked up. Oh my goodness. 950 people in the chat. Be sure to hit that like. Can we get the likes over 50%? That'd be nice. If you can get, if 100, 200 people like the stream right now, we can get over 500 likes. YouTube shares the stream out more, and more people get to hear about Nick being a smart boy if we can get over 400. So yeah, hit that like button. I won't ask any more at the end of the stream, maybe.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Yeah. So he's like, I don't know why you would make these decisions so late in your life when you have so much going on for you.
True.
Right. So much to lose.
I think that's all.
This is the thing. Like, this isn't a midlife crisis. This is a midlife crash out. He had allegedly everything. Now, the thing is, he's always been unhappy because Kayla was never loyal. She wasn't loyal, chat. That's why he liked April so much. I figured it out. This is why he loves April so much. It's because it's the first woman that actually listened to him and seemed to like him instead of just being the first woman that gave him a bit of poontang or whatever. That's why he misses her. That's why it's his love is his life. He tried to make it work with 2 women, and he can't even make it work with 1.
Our question.
If it's due to your alcohol abuse that helped you make these bad decisions, but I hope something changes in your life.
Wow.
And this is the catalyst.
There was some lady that met me in the bathroom.
Was she fat?
No.
Looked like a table waiter?
Huh?
Was she fat and looked like a table waiter?
No, she was
Okay,
like
it wasn't her.
lady. She said her name was Kay.
Okay.
Oh yeah. We know who she is.
Yeah, that's Will Heron's Lady K. Apparently, Lady K likes this show, so she must be a smart lady.
Okay, she wants to do like an interview with you.
Let's go.
Yeah, happy to have her on.
Yeah, she wants you guys to reach out to her if you can.
Okay.
But yeah, that's.
I have Will's contacts.
Can you do that right in the background right now?
Yeah.
Vanessa, I'm so fucking proud of you. You
are awesome, my dear. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'm glad you had fun because there's another case that same dude's going to be in soon, and if we could get you.
Now, this is true. We already have 1 confirmed case that Nick's going to be in at the end of the year. Currently, in the Montegraph defamation case, it is in discovery, and the discovery lasts until December of this year. So it's a really long time, but I guess it's a Christmas present. Maybe we can have more drama about Monty because Nick has pissed away hundreds of thousands of dollars. Is that what they were talking about when they said he gave away hundreds of thousands of dollars of charity? Was he talking about giving it to Monty's lawyer? That could be what they meant by that. Anyway, that's going forward, and Aaron has implied that the FBI is still looking into the digital trespassing cybercrimes one, the one that I played at the beginning of the clip, the beginning of the stream, that was from the fantastic Third World Aristocrat. That is allegedly still going forward. I don't have too many high hopes for it. I'm not sure. But yeah, he could go for the lol color of the year hat trick. Absolutely.
To tell you, there's a guy at the flagpole that's wearing like a clown wig.
Can you see him? Can we see him?
So we have that. So she actually, they sent in the clowns. They literally sent in the clowns, and Vanessa on the ground reporter reported on sending in the clowns. And even Nick talked about this today. We're going to take a quick brief detour to Nicky Boy's Twitter page. Let's see, here it is. All right, let's see how the day's events unfolded. All right, this is how the day's events unfolded. Let me see. Oh, this is pretty rich, actually. Don't joke about committing a crime, said unironically by a fat, dumb lawyer and a bunch of formnoids. This is like, you can joke about committing a crime, but don't joke about committing a crime when you're under investigation for the said crimes. That's good advice. He talked about Kumia because I think Aaron likes Kumia. Let me see. All right, this is from today. The reporting is incorrect, incomplete. I guess a Minnesota lawyer will have to explain it. Come watch my new show, Actually Criminal, tonight. So I guess trying to own Sean doesn't make a lot of sense. He's like, checkmate, A-logs. I'm actually a criminal now. Time to be announced. Well, spoiler alert, it wasn't announced. Later on. Also, the fat guy running down the street to take a picture, you're welcome, get skinny. I believe he was referring to the clown there. Working out, this is 9 hours ago. Working out technical difficulties with the audio, then I'll start stream. Sorry for the delay. Then, actually, we're going to do this tomorrow. Very late and unhetero. So he did not stream that night. And then he said 7 hours ago. So he stayed 2 hours trying to fix his audio. Look, saying you're trying to fix your audio is, someone else said this isn't my quote, but someone else said that saying you got to fix your audio is the adult streaming version of a dog ate my homework. The reason the stream didn't go down is because as soon as Nick said these words, that everybody's wrong. And the reason Nick thinks that everybody's wrong is because he thinks that all of Lawtube said that he's definitely going to spend 30 days in prison. No, we all know what the word sentenced means and the word deferred means, okay? We understand that. It would be very funny. The reason he's so... no, not that one. Let me see. Where is it? Is because somebody... This is what happened. This is that actually happened. The moment he announced his stream is that the one and only Minnesota Public Records posted today saying, what's the exact time of the stream? Now, my personal opinion is that Minnesota Public Records doesn't actually have anything. I think that they just dug up this account just to troll. And if they did, they successfully scared him off the internet because the stream did not happen. And I think Nick saying he was working with the audio was him trying to bait out to see what they had. Now, some people have said that it's going to be like some additional reports from the pre-sentencing investigation. If so, that's going to be very interesting. But I guess we're going to find out tomorrow. Because let me tell you, chat, all right, tomorrow I have a plan. I want to play dinosaurs on stream for 8 hours again, okay? Very unsuccessful monetarily, but very fun for me, okay? I love playing the dinosaur game. And I think some people like watching the dinosaur game. So I want to play the dinosaur game tomorrow. But Nick is allegedly streaming tomorrow. So what do? Do I end the dinosaur stream and watch and do a reaction to Nick's stream? Do I listen to the Nick talking while playing dinosaurs? If a big drop, if the body cam comes out tomorrow, do we just cancel and do like a thing? I don't know. What do we do, chat? Stream tonight while playing dinosaurs? I think that's the best idea, honestly. I think that's the best idea. And we got a $5 super chat from Natasha, which brings us 4 away from the goal. If we hit that goal, then we'll watch Kurt eating Denny's for 20 minutes while I drink a Bloody Mary. How about that? Natasha says, I'm kind of sad that the Ralph mail didn't write to the judge for Crackett's. I forgot if Crackett's burnt that bridge since the first hearing. Speaking of burning bridges, there's one other thing I think I have to show you, actually. We'll finish this video first. The Divinity said code. It's pretty close. It's like a minute left on this one. Thank you for the
show
$5.
the camera? See if I can flip it around. Is there a way to... Here, I'll just...
So they try and figure out this shit. So they zoom in.
Let me see if I can make you just main.
I zoomed in enhanced, and that's the picture, okay? The literal clowns.
I took a picture of him.
Yeah, we got him. The clowns. They sent in the clowns.
Listen, I'm not great at the buttons. Solo layout. Maybe if they zoom in, they can see that.
Yep. Zoom in enhance.
I just reached out. We'll hear back when we hear back.
Also, Snacks with a $5 super sticker. He wants to see Kurt eat.
No, you're fine. You can come back. Okay. Oh, shoot. What have I done?
She's made my day, my year. This is my year. You made my year.
About him inside, they're like the employees were like, so there's some guy out there in a clown wig hiding behind the flagpole. I'm assuming he's wanting an interview, and they all started laughing.
Nick showed up to court, and they came in. The bailiff is like, look, there's clowns outside. And everyone's just like, yeah, we kind of figured. They just know he's such a clown. in the courtroom and his own trial, his own court case, that they just know it was for Nick. There's no other reason for Clown to be there. It's not National Clown Day. It's not Good Clown Day. It's Good Friday. And it was a Good Friday. It was a great fucking Friday. You having a good Friday, chat? I know it's Saturday now, but, you know.
Wow.
How's it going, expert? Haven't seen you in a
I
while.
don't think it's a Kiwi farmer because I think Josh said he didn't have anybody in the area that day. So this is hilarious.
I can't
All
believe
right, we need to do a vote. Let's see. Who was the clown working for? Kiwis, the toe. Who else could he be working for though? Sean. That's Sean's clown, and also results. Also, there we go. Who was the clown working for? Because it has to be either a Kiwi farmer, Stonies. Yes, Stonies is a good idea. Stonies. I think it's a toe. I think the clown was a toe fan, or maybe like an ex Nick fan. But it could be Sean. It could be that trickster Sean. We'll have to see.
You're right, Nova. I'm so beside
That's
myself.
all I needed to hear. That's all I needed to hear.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm taking it humbly. I'm not going to
I gotta leave a comment. Send in the clowns. But Nick was already there. There we go. All right. Very good. I need to see the transcript. If we get the transcript, maybe we'll read it tomorrow. We'll see. All right. I don't need this. Oh, actually, I do need this one. All right. So we'll go into Lawtube Avengers, as people have been describing them. But there's also one other quote I want from Nick here at the 2 hour and 30 mark. Let's see. 2 hours and 30. This is from the vault. 2 hours and 30. Let me see. 2:33. There's a word of wisdom here. Let's see what he says.
If Ralph came up to me tomorrow and said, "Hey man, I'm sorry.
He's talking about how he never burns bridges with people.
I said a bunch of nasty shit about you and your wife," I'd say, "Hey, will you say it on stream? Will you just apologize to me on stream?" And he'd say, "Yeah." And I'd get him on stream. I'd make fun of him a little bit, and then we bury the hatchet because I don't care. I don't care about drama. I don't care about people being mad at me. People get mad.
He doesn't care, chat. He doesn't care about it. Well, let's see.
Can I explain my beef with Nick? I don't know anything. I don't know that I necessarily have a beef with Nick, but Nick texted me and said we weren't friends anymore. So we're not friends anymore. And so that's the end of that story.
This stream clip aged poorly, but there's more.
At me because I get drunk and say funny things and stupid things, but I
Doesn't care.
I
Bury
just
the
tell
hatchet.
where,
It's
what
all
I'm
just
feeling in the
drama. It's
moment. But
bullshit.
after that, it's over. It's over.
I have a couple serious questions for you, Nick, about that. I do this. I wonder if you do this as well. When
I think there's something
it takes a
salient here I
lot to
wanna
get
hear.
you mad, but then when you're mad, you explode for like 20 or 30 seconds, and then it's done. It's over with. It's out of your system, and then you're just the same as you were before.
Jeff, I am the Stan's dad meme from South Park, right?
Covered in coom?
Like him
That makes
sitting there
sense.
just covered in semen or whatever.
Yeah.
Like it's done. I'm over. It's finished. I'm like, yes. It's like I'll say my but here's the thing. What I say is true. What I say is it's true. It's what I'm feeling. I shouldn't always say it. I know that. And I fail, but
Wrap it
that's
up,
okay.
Nick.
The reality. I
think he
don't
said something here.
hold on to it because you can't harm me.
All right, this is it. Yeah.
I don't care because you can't harm me from who I am. I've built me. You can't tear it down. Only I can.
True.
And if
And he
people
did.
everywhere need to take this fucking advice, no one can destroy you but you.
True.
If you are destroyed, you did it.
True.
Either you did the
Can we
thing
get
that
some
someone else
truths?
talked about, you did whatever that someone else leaked. If you act with honesty and integrity, no matter what the leaks are, no matter what happens, someone will go, all right,
True.
but I get it. Yeah. I don't approve, but I get it. They were weak. They were in a state, whatever it was, but I get it.
Honesty
With
and
me,
integrity.
If you're gonna leak the DMs or whatever, what you'll find is you'll find
Uh-huh.
me not attacking anybody ever.
when the DMs were leaked, Nick's wife wants to swing. Okay, that was fun.
Because I don't understand that concept. But you'll find me responding sometimes too vigorously, and that's what happens from time to time. But at the end of the day, like I'm willing to put everything in the past with anybody. I don't care. I want everybody to make money.
Unless you're Kurt. Wait. What did you say, Nick? Hold on a second. There's something there.
Put everything in the past with anybody. I don't care. I want everybody to make money. And when I say I want everybody to make money and be successful, I want everybody to make money and be successful, because my enemy is not my co-creator. My enemy is Hollywood. My enemy is big business. My enemy is government. And my enemy is corporate government partnerships.
Nick Rekieta co-signs these streams. He's okay with us making money of his misfortune because he did it first, making fun of Russell Greer. Like, you know, when Megan Fox wrote the letter, she's like, Nick is a good guy. Why? Why do people say that? Why did Nick's defenders say he's a good guy? He literally started out by making fun of a guy with facial paralysis. Now, just because Russell Greer is a piece of shit and deserved it, does not mean they didn't start his entire internet career by bullying people like Maddox and Russell Greer and Jamie Marchi. Now, they deserved it, and we laughed along, and I don't have a problem with that. I think that bad people should be bullied. That's fine with me. But he was never a nice guy. Even from his inception of his channel, he was never a nice guy. But there he said it. He said he's okay with people earning money because fellow creators, they're just doing their grift, right? So any of the detractors that say I shouldn't be making fun of Nick, he's okay with it, except when he's not, or when you're Nick. Now we have this 8-minute clip of Keanu from Alyssa Clips that I'm not going to play. It was just bait, like last time. You couldn't pay me to watch the Keanu. I just have it there to troll the chat. We're not going to see it, okay? We're not going to see Keanu's take about whatever it is. Let's go to the Avengers. Wait, what's this? We'll go to the Avengers first. This is what people are calling it. The Lawtube Avengers. Laid back law. Nick Rekieta's sentencing. Let's see their reaction live on air after this brief message from our sponsor, Johan Naxus. It said, for 5, Nick has not learned an important lesson. Do not challenge autists on the internet and weaponize their autism. You will lose every time. Yeah, you never dare people to do things that can actually destroy your life. They're just silly. Let's see what he says.
All right, just shift to another topic. I saw in the chat, everybody. All right, just shift to another topic. I saw in the chat, everybody's commented. I can't ignore it. Yes, Nick Rekieta was sentenced to 30 days in jail. I think 5 years probation.
Wow, aggressive.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Everyone is shocked. Everyone is shocked about this.
Wow, they went to the wall. Damn.
Although Nate is laughing. That's pretty funny.
I mean,
Curtis, they're all chuckling. I mean, some of them are enjoying it, obviously, but everyone's shocked. Everyone's shocked. Nobody expected 30 days.
It is what it is. I wish him nothing but the best. If he is not currently sober, maybe when he spends the time, it'll help him. You know,
no, 30 days in jail will sober you up one way or another.
The position. Looking at the order that everyone.
28 days. Sorry, because you got 2.
It was 2 days between friends.
It looks like he might be able to get a deferral on that if he completes probation, because he's not supposed to appear.
See, like everyone agreed that they think they can get a deferral. Like there's so many people are saying, like Nick is saying on his tweets, right? Like, since nobody can understand this, I'll explain it to you. But like literally everyone that I've shown has said that he's going to get deferment. Now, I'm gonna shit on Sean in a second as well, by the way, just for fun.
Until August.
I love Sean, but I have to say something.
Giving him time to jump through a bunch of hoops, and then the sentencing, the jail time might be deferred, at least according to the order.
Well, maybe rehab. I mean, I'm just saying, if there is an issue, maybe he can go to rehab, and that can help him with.
Is it his first offense? This is his first criminal stuff, right? I don't think
jail time. I think he may have already gone to rehab. Suspended. I think pursuant to successful conclusion of a bunch of hoops and probation.
All right. And like Sean, you can't be using this angle. Like, I'm sorry, but does Sean look like Kingpin from Spider-Man? I think, like, if I replace, hold on, I've almost got this prepped up. Sean's my favorite Lawtuber. Well, I mean, I have 2 favorite Lawtubers now. He's one of my top Lawtube boys. But if I put this photo in here, like this is like he needs a top-down angle. Like if I replace Sean's with like this, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I'm sorry. This is a terrible angle. He's Lego maxing. Oh dear, like just it's I don't know. I couldn't unsee it. Sorry, Sean. I sent you something, so I hope that makes up for it. Okay.
And
I had to
that's
say
what
it. I
it
had to say
looks
it.
like, but I don't understand Minnesota orders. Mine in Michigan would say specifically that. This one says possible deferral pursuant to probation. So who knows?
He's kingpin. I mean, Sean is a bit of a kingpin now. He's the kingpin of the Lawtube. He's got destiny on his heels now. Not nice. It's okay. It's all right. I'm sure he'll accept it.
I haven't seen it, but I still think even putting 30 days on him, I still think that's a bit much.
That's
I
a
don't
bit
think that was
much.
necessary.
Yeah, it's a bit.
Yeah, I don't think it was necessary at all.
Get better soon, Nick.
5 years probation is a lot of probation, man.
Yeah. Well, we said 2 or 3.
Yeah.
We said 2 or 3, and he got 5. I was like,
Well, and if the probation is just literally stay clean, stay healthy, it's not necessarily the worst thing out there,
right?
No, but being that long of the government being on you like that's like probation, even when you're non-reporting, is still not like you got to get permission to leave the state. If you run into the police, you got to tell people. Like it's still a hassle, and
Your audio is. Am I the only one who's getting?
Audio is awful.
Yes,
it's audio.
I didn't want to say anything.
Sean's audio is almost always bad.
Yeah, Sean's calling in from the Ukraine conflict. He's on the Russian side.
I don't know what it is, but
I got court this afternoon, so I'm.
You sound like you're underwater.
Trump sent him in to finish the job.
Well, listen, I do want to ask you guys, do you guys think this is a little bit of FAFO in terms of Nick? Because he fought so much, he pissed off the judge, he pissed off everybody there. And then eventually it's like, you know what? F him. Let's give him the 30 days. Because they didn't usually.
I absolutely think this is the case. It sounds like Nick was just so insufferable and dicked them around so much and did his last minute filings and all sorts of God nonsense that he absolutely FO'd and found out. I absolutely 100% agree with that.
Yeah, now, as a prosecutor, usually you give your recommendation, defense, and the judge kind of like, all right, we'll give something in the middle or something. Usually it's in New York, it was very defended.
You mean when they taunt judges, it might piss them off?
But it seems like this judge was like, give him the 30, whatever the prosecutor wants, we want too. So I think it was a little.
But don't you guys miss him? Don't you miss your old buddy Nick? I mean,
I do.
Let's get back to the debates.
Don't you miss him, chat? Look at Kurt. Kurt can't even hide. Kurt can't even hide his smile. MLS is like, Nate is like, well, Sean is actually really professional. I'll say that about Sean is like, professional criminal defense lawyer, and he's like Nick does not deserve this. Very professional. Joe is obviously a big stan for Nick. I think Pisco hates Nick though, right? Because Pisco was like Destiny's lapdog lawyer, and now he's got no home. He's a refugee. He's a Ronin lawyer, and he's found his way to the Lawtube community.
Yeah. No. The world misses Nick Rekieta.
There you go.
I mean, that's a nice thing to say, but do they? Like, Nick's not really much of a headliner these days. I mean, yeah, when you come back, like you have your grand return stream, people are going to see it because they're curious. The question is, what is your retaining audience? Because these streams simply just aren't as big as they used to be. It's like kind of interesting because like one of my other favorite lawyers, Legal Mindset. Let's take a look at his channel for a second. Legal Mindset is interesting because he was one of the first people to put out a video about Nick, right? Let's take a look. So an actual lawyer, not like me, an actual lawyer, he put out a video saying the end of Nick Rekieta's criminal saga, hopefully. And this was one of the first videos that came out, right? And Legal Mindset was also very close friends with Nick. He'd seen them in person. He'd met Lady Rackets. They were together at Anime Matsuri. They were like bros when the Lawtube Civil War began and everything, the first Civil War. He put out a video 15 hours ago, 30,000 views. Okay, that's a big chunk of views. Don't get me wrong. But okay, let's have a look at the video he put out 11 hours ago. Vitali confessed 200,000. Nick's just not a headliner anymore. He's not a leading man anymore. It just is what it is. And also Fatty Caddy with a 5, bringing us 2 chats away from the goal, the extended show goal of watching Kurt in a Denny's. Fatty Caddy says, me, I'm in love. I need Vanessa to have some of my kids. For a minimum, she's so sweet, hot, and an airhead. She is also loyal, unlike our life. Yeah, exactly. So go back to laid back law.
Nick used to be in the intro on this.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you do the?
It's okay, but sorry to go back about this. What's interesting is that Good Logic has basically inherited Nick's legacy. So, I mean, I think that for whatever else, Good Logic is a loyal friend to Nick, and you can argue about whether he should be or not. But the audience that Good Logic has now, and it's a good audience. It's like I think it's like a 1,000, 1,500 minimum. He's doing very well. He has inherited the Winants and the Trump and gun crowd that Nick used to have, and he's basically taken Nick's time slot as well. So he's profiting very well from Nick, and obviously he cares more about his friend than profit, right? Surely. But if Nick does return and become the big guy that he was, Good Logic stands to lose, in my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, and I'm sure if he heard that, he'd be like, "Well, obviously I don't care about the money. I just want my friend to be successful." Sure, okay. It's an interesting bargain. I don't think it's going to pay off staying on Nick's side, but maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe he'll come back.
Old Stalin? Did you stall him out?
Yeah.
I mean,
did you do the old Stalin? Did you stall him out of the intro?
No. Okay, you know what? I want to address that.
You did. You stalled him.
Okay, well, hold on. Let me address that.
Trotsky. Who?
Nice.
There was no Leon.
All right, Joe was the other half of the intro.
That's why.
They were both drunk out of their mind, making a comment about me, and
imagine my shock.
I thought that
with
funny. Nick's case and everything else, maybe
Fair
it
enough.
wasn't the best representation of having a very obviously drunk Nick as part of the intro, reminding everybody every week. I just thought that
You just beat every single lawyer on the argument there.
No, he did. Well, look, while his case was pending, fine. But now that it's resolved, I don't know. I think it's play the clip right now. Just play it. You have it there.
Play it.
I think before we go to the clip, the idea that we should forgive and just accept Nick back now that it's done. Well, first of all, he has one, potentially two more cases coming. It depends, right, on the severity and the nature of the crime. Do you want to watch a guy that built an audience on conservatism and libertarianism and having a white picket fence, a wife and 5 kids, making your own way, being a self-made man? This is the story that Nick sold to many people, and he'll tell you that, like, well, I never said this. You just inferred it. But no, this is what Nick said. He rode the train of popularity of being a white pill in the past, when everyone's despairing about how they can't afford to have a house or a wife or kids, and you can't be a conservative online or a libertarian online without being cancelled by the left wokest mob. He sold that story, and then what it turns out, he didn't stand for anything. He didn't care about the sanctity of marriage. He didn't care about being a good father. He didn't care about, standing up and actually making a stand for something that's right, rather than what can make you get a quick access to another man's wife. Why should you go back? If you've been burned by Nick, why should you return? Now, can Nick get a new audience? Sure. But I don't think that his older audience is going back. Apart from the diehard, the diehard supporters that would like literally follow him through anything, the man still has not explained why his daughter tested positive for coke in a really large amount as well. Now, Nick has explained to his friends that, well, the government didn't go forward with the case. That must mean there's nothing. No, the government doesn't go forward with cases all the time. For various reasons. Maybe they obtained it incorrectly. Maybe it was fruit of the poisonous tree. Maybe one of the lab techs quit that day. We don't know. It could be literally anything. And maybe maybe he's literally innocent. It could be a case too. But Nick didn't do the work that would show that he would be. He went on Quora and found some crazy guy that was like trying to fuck nurses in a hospital and trying to make people get on these weird cocaine experiments to support his argument that the hair can metabolize, the metabolites can metabolize outside the body in a water situation. The cop touched my daughter's hair. Okay. Is there any science to back that up? Well, maybe, but it's very hard to prove and it can't be repeated in lab conditions. What? And then you might ask yourself, well, why didn't he just get a secondary test to prove that she was clean? And he was just like, the government didn't want to do it. Why didn't you do it? These tests are allegedly valid for 90 days. He got his kids back after 77. And for the first 77 days, the grandparents had them. They could have obtained one of these tests. The tests are easy enough to obtain because Nick obtained one very quickly, and he can obtain one very easily in Las Vegas because he wants to go see the Fat Man and the Puppet Show. Okay? So the idea that he couldn't get these tests is ridiculous. And the idea that he wouldn't want one of these tests is ridiculous in my mind. He has to explain this. If you want me to give Nick a second chance, I need to know why. Why did he not go out of his way? Why did he hire an expert to explain how the metabolites can exist outside the body instead of just getting a second test that shows that his order was clean? Why? Let's just sweep. Oh, well, he's been sentenced now. Let's just sweep it on that. Why? Why? No, that's a big deal. I can't, in good conscience, watch him again. Not that I would, because he's not as entertaining as he used to be, and he's not the person I thought he was. So I wouldn't watch him anyway. But I can't, in good conscience, support him. And when people say, like, well, he's just, he fucked up. He's still fucking up. He's still trying to, he somehow thinks that if he destroys another cuckold's life, that his life will be like a win or something. It doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. No. Now that his case is done, no, that's not, I don't accept it. I don't buy that. If you want to, if you don't believe the case, that's fine. I can't do it.
I don't know. I think it's play the clip right now. Just play it. You have it there.
Play it. We don't do this. Eric Hunley has the whole monopoly. I don't know who that son of a bitch thinks he is, that he's got this whole monopoly on getting panels of lawyers together. But we should be doing that on our streams, like way more. Like I
did this way before him. I had the big brain panel before Eric Hunley even existed.
All the big brain people left, Nick. Did you notice that? Like Mr. Peacock, and I can't remember the other guy's names. Like the Chad Dad streams, the big brain streams. What happened to those? And Johan with another 5 says, I will never forgive Nick. He sold us a box of lies. I, for a short time, believe those lies myself. Me too. He is not a good man, or he is not a god man, a godfather, or a good. I assume you mean a good man, a good father, and a good friend. Yeah, he's neither of these things. And he absolutely sold people this narrative that he knew was very profitable. He's like, even though he does like anime, he completely discarded the anime audience. Like, you fucking weirdo nerds, while he's painting his action figures. He's such a... It's just so much projection. But that brings us one chat away from the extended show goal of watching A Cop in the Denny's. We'll have to see. Oops, wait. Oh, that's
See, I love that. I loved it. It's just like...
Yeah, but
why don't you re-record it, Joe? You guys can re-record it, all right? This time you can do crack.
Yeah, I mean, one away. No, we haven't hit it yet, Brandon.
Anyway, I just didn't think that was necessarily the best representation,
especially when he's going through
everybody involved.
Saying he's looking high on screen, and you got him looking high on screen. So yeah. It's not looking good.
It's not looking good.
Oh, Joe.
All right, what is this? This is a quick clip from Melissa saying, potentially criminal, Minnesota Public Records is back, and it's almost 11. I think this is a fun little Sean clip. I do like Sean.
Got a note from my producer here. Hold on. What is this? I just got a note from my producer here. Hold on. What is this?
All right, what is this one?
Let me see. Oh my God, that is brutal. Oh, chat. Oh no. Oh my God, chat. We've got a, as Alyssa told us, it's almost 11, and there's still no stream tonight.
Still no stream, chat.
Touching.
Where's the stream? Where's the stream, Boldo man? Just put the streams in the bag.
On the farms just a little while ago. Minnesota Public Records saying, what is the exact time of the stream?
All right, chat. Do you think that there actually is? Do you think that Minnesota actually has anything? Do you think that we have anything, or was he just taunting? Was he just taunting? I have to know. That. Also, God bless the goal. Ike with a 2 says super chat to see Kurt at Denny's, and Johan with a God bless the goal, bish. I'm gonna build a stream on that land. All right, we're gonna watch Kurt's Denny's adventures after this. After we get there. But I've got to pull myself an ultimate Bloody Mary.
Oh no!
I think it's a bluff. I think it's a bluff. I don't know. What could they have? If it is the pre-sentencing investigation, I will absolutely read that shit. I gotta see him, and I need to see the transcript too. There may be a follow-up stream or an intermission dino stream because I will be playing dinosaurs tomorrow, no matter what. But we may be interrupting the stream site, Nick, if he actually puts his stream together. Is Nick going to stream together? What's the over-under? What's the Vegas odds of Nick streaming together?
No.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Kitty's right. Yo!
Oh, Kitty, let's go. Where's Kitty?
Oh. Yes, an interesting matter of public record is attached.
The transcripts are available now. Well, they're going to be available very quickly, but you just have to pay for them. It's like $160. So the transcripts will be made available anyway. We don't need. I mean, Minnesota Public Records could make them available faster, perhaps, but the stenographer still has to type them up. So I think it has to be more than the transcripts. We're going to get those. The body cam is an interesting question. We don't know about that. Now, Josh Moon of the Kiwi Farms has said that the body cam he's going to fight for your right to see the body cams. But those probably wouldn't be coming at least in 2-week minimum, unless Minnesota Public Records is actually like really part of the police force. I very much think it wouldn't be that. Plus, they have to be censored for the minors in the thing.
No, the PSI will not be released. That's a confidential document.
You see, that's what I'm thinking. Maybe it will. If it's confidential, this would be very interesting. The pre-sentencing investigation, that would be very interesting.
So, ooh. And a hush fell across the room.
Now, I actually did a stream months ago about the body cam, about the question of will it be released, and I went through the Minnesota guidelines for it, and I also was joined by Legal Mindset, and we kind of came to the same conclusion in that we don't really know, but we assume that it should be made available. Nick is very adamant, and he said on the Dick show or the Masterson show, whatever it's called, that he says it's absolutely not coming out because it's a private residence. It's his own personal fiance and his own personal residence. But the letter of the law says that it cannot be released during an investigation, if I recall correctly. It cannot be released while it's part of confidential, which is like during the investigation and after the arrest. But after it's admitted into evidence, or if it's part of a guilty party's investigation, then it should be released. So my understanding is that there's definitely an argument for it, but I think that the Minnesota people are going to fight him on it. So I think it will be coming out, like when I say think it will be, I'm like 60-40 on this. I think it's 60-40 we're going to see it. But it's going to be a bit of a fight. But I think if Jenny Josh does it enough, if he pushes hard enough, then definitely he can make a case for it, especially since they already quoted him how much it's going to cost, and he's already collected the money for it as well. They're probably going to push back once or twice, and then he just has to keep going. You think there's a 3.5% chance? Probably, yeah. All right, let me see. We've got a quick one. I got to put this is just a fun one that I want to play from Sean as well.
Noses stuffed with crack cocaine here in Cuckburg.
Oh no, man.
Booze and pills to numb the brain in the cover. Let's keep it a mystery. Ba-ba-ba. And rewrite history. Cocktails. Woo!
Good song. I just had to play that. I'm gonna have to make this a clip. I'm gonna save this one. I'm gonna make that like a clip thing. What was this one? All right, the Denny's clip. We got the Denny's clip. And all right. I'm gonna play the intro song while I pour myself an Ultimate Bloody Mary. When we come back, Kurt at a Denny's. It's gonna happen, okay? We're gonna wind down together and see it. I'm gonna like this video. You gotta go into the chat right now and post based on Kurt's channel though. Like this is where the fuck is his comment section gone? I guess it's like a live stream. Open panel, top chat replay. How do I add a comment to this? Where is it? Anyway, just put W Kurtz in the chat. I'll be right back, chat. Okay, I won't play the whole song, but we'll play the Baldo Ain't Streaming Tonight, which I actually quite like.
It's almost 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldo ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11, and there's still no stream. Baldo ain't streaming tonight. tonight. It's 1 minute past 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldur ain't streaming tonight. It's already 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldur ain't streaming tonight. It's no longer 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldur ain't streaming tonight. It's almost 11, and there's still no stream. And Baldur ain't streaming tonight.
All right, we're back. We're back. Sorry, I did let that play a bit longer. I like that song. It's fun. It's kind of funny how like people get really butthurt on Twitter about AI art, but they have no problem with AI songs. I think AI songs are hilarious. They've given us a lot of good times. Without further ado, let's see. So, streamed 99 minutes ago. Kurt, he says, Rekietalaw was right after all. Let's take a look at the 20-minute Denny's adventure. Maybe we'll put this on 1.2 first speed, but Kurt is streaming at a Denny's. Let's see what happens. Who made the song? I think it was from someone from Kiwi Farms.
Thank you so much.
I think it
You're ready in a
was...
couple more minutes.
I think it was Dusk Night.
Let me do the moons over my hammy, please.
All right, just the way it comes. So you want fries, seasoned fries, onion rings instead of the hash browns?
No, hash browns I think will be fine.
Hash browns? Okay. There you go.
The question is, did he knows what he ordered? Is he going to get the moons over my hammies? We're going to find out. 1, if you think he's going to get what he ordered, and 2, if you think that nobody knows.
No, that'd be fine for now. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Do you need this one?
Yeah, let me hold on to it for a second. Thanks.
I'm curious to see what happens. Also with the pole vault, pole vault? The vote. The polls vote. The polls vote. Who was the clown working for? 35% say the toe, 32% say Kiwis, and 18% say Sean. I've never, well, actually, that's not true. I have been to a Denny's before. I've been to a Denny's in Japan, but Denny's is nicer in Japan. Do I go to a Denny's as well, just to lay on the joke? But is Denny's good in America? That's my question.
And banana meets salted caramel. I don't quite understand that.
Doesn't make sense. He doesn't know what he's ordering. All right, we're going to put this on 1.25 speed, I think. Current cooking streams are kind of keener, though, to be honest. I've seen some of his cooking videos before. I think, honestly, like, I'm not even kidding. I think that Kurt would probably should just shave off his hair and then grow out the mustache and just, like, steal Legal Vice's hairstyle, basically. I don't think this is working. That's my opinion. I mean, people probably tell me that as well. They're like, just shave it off. It's already over, boy. I'm like, yeah, no, I want to hold on. I want to hold on to the last legs. Me too. But I think that would actually work in Kurt's favor. Extremely happy Simmer with 5 says, oh my god, please go to Japanese Denny's. It'd be so funny. Maybe next. Maybe we'll see. We'll see. People like, but Japanese Denny's is good though. I think it's just like a family restaurant with pancakes and stuff. They don't have mooms over my hammy though, I'm pretty sure. Is Kurt okay? Like, what's happening to his hands? Like a genuine question. No, not joking or anything. I'm actually curious. Is he okay? might look at the Japanese Denny's thing. I have some filler here. Could just be like like Nick shake or whatever. Maybe just lawyer shake.
Coffee's not that great.
Sorry, let's brief intermission. This is what Japanese Denny's looks like. So you've got like the muskmelon. You've got like, see, there's no funny shit. It's just like the same thing that every Japanese family shop has. So let's look at the fare menu. You've just got like pasta and steak and stuff. Like this is Japanese. Musk is like melon. It's like rock melon, cantaloupe. That's what musk is. Muskmelon. It's just cantaloupe. It actually looks pretty good though. Here's the recommended. Oh, look, they've got half price. Oh wow, half price highballs. Nice. So you can get loaded there. The Denny's app, the service, the Denny News. Wait, they call it like Den News. They call it Den News. That's kind of funny. All right. So you have the steak that comes in like a hot rock. You've got the pasta. What is this? It's like fried rice with a steak, salad. Then you've got like, yeah, I mean, it's just like, it actually looks fine. Like it's just like regular food. There's no like moon over my hammies or anything. The lunch menu is basically the same. And I know they have pancakes. All right, sorry, that's the Japanese. It's not as funny. The Japanese. Wait, where did my screen go? It disappeared for a second. Oh, I think it's fine. All right, let's continue Kurt's adventure at the Denny's. Yeah, it's the lunch menu. Sorry, I've been over here too long.
Stuff like, well, I can do a stack of pancakes to any meal. Oh, I'm definitely gonna get myself a stack of pancakes. Oh yeah, no. See, I can add a stack of pancakes to any meal.
Get the pancakes. Kurt.
2 slices French toast to any meal. That's a pretty good deal. Slice of New York cheesecake to any meal. Chocolate pancake. All you can eat pancakes for $6. Ooh. Everyday value slam. Grilled cheese, super slam, classic burgers. If my moons or Miami doesn't come with pancakes, I'm definitely getting myself some pancakes.
Where's the cop? I don't get it, Nick. What's going on here? There's a woe buddy. Think so? This is the content you guys paid for. It's such a scam. I mean, it's very funny, but like I'm not sure if it's 22 minutes funny. Maybe you should have edited this down to a 5-minute video. I think that's lawyer shake. Look, there's like hot young singles in your area, Kurt. That's what they are. Watch on 2 times speed.
Right on the bottom of the menu. Like I can't get a customized order of what exactly I want.
I don't know. I think this is pretty good. Kurt's in the chat, really? Kurt, you're in the chat? W Kurt. We gotta get W's in the chat for Kurt. Is he? Isn't he in the chat? Did I see him? I didn't see him today. Usually I see him because he's got a verified tick mark. I didn't see it. I must have missed it.
Eggs
served okay. W Kurt.
Easy,
this is a W.
Sunny side up or soft boiled, maybe undercooked.
All right, he's in the.
Will only be served upon consumer's request.
Kurt, were you here when we saw the clip of Nick saying that he'll take back anyone, even Ethan Ralph? He doesn't care about bullshit, and friendship is more important. And then he's just like, Broop, "You're out of the friendship, Kurt." He didn't even give you drugs when you went to his house. You weren't even allowed in the hot tub. How could you? What a fair weather friend he was, eh? Okay. So the moons over my hammy is the Suki over Porkio. Yeah. Wouldn't it be the Suki over Buta? Thank you for the 2.
Banana meat salted caramel, though? Seriously? Really?
What? No. Wait, Kurt. Okay, we gotta retract those W's. Salted caramel on banana is excellent. Almonds too. Get shaved almonds in that shit. That's delicious.
It's a match made of flavor heaven. The sweet salty caramel packs perfectly with ripe bananas. Create a
yes,
seasonal new breakfast favorite.
Wait, chat, are we pro caramel on bananas? I think salted caramel on bananas and cream is delicious. Am I wrong here? See, Kurt doesn't even know what he's ordering. Nick was right. We're pro caramel in this chat. How many
That's
views?
too sweet for breakfast. I find it
2,000
confusing.
views. Excellent. I liked it already, Kurt. I already hit the like button. I couldn't leave a comment though for some reason. Oh, here it is. Here we go. W Kurt. This is good. Everything, all of Kurt's things are redeemed. Because Kurt went to Denny's to style on Rekieta, he was justified all along. When he was telling Megan Fox that she was didn't know what she was talking about with AutoZone, that retroactively Kurt has corrected everything about this. Everything is forgiven Kurt. Every faux pas you've ever made from going to Denny's.
Coffee?
Yes, I would. And also, can I get the add-on for the stack of pancakes?
Yeah,
This
put
too?
it on.
You can have this back,
No
thanks.
problem. You want anything on it? The strawberries, banana, blueberries?
Blueberry sounds nice.
Blueberries?
Yes, thank you.
Nice, good choice, good choice.
On top is fine. I got myself the moons over my hammy.
This doesn't look better than
I got
Japanese
myself the
Denny's.
moons over my hammy.
I'm sorry. Like if I go to Japanese Denny's and I get the lunch menu, it looks better. Like I could get this. Look at this. This is what I get in Japan, and this will cost like, this is like 1,000 yen. What is 1,000 yen? 1,000 yen to US dollars. This is like $7 for this, and it comes with like a side. This is the fried chicken and black vinegar sauce and rice, and it comes with a side as well. Sorry. Japan's better. Come to Japan, Kurt. We'll show you a good time. You think money can't buy happiness? Haha, sumimasen, come to Japan. I've got to record Max doing that. When I go to Tokyo to see Max for my new video, next video, I'm gonna literally record him saying that. And I'm gonna have the Fast and the Furious music as well.
How do I manage to eat so much on while I'm on journal? I'm probably going to take some of this to go. That's the answer to that question. I just really want some pancakes. But I'm probably going to box at least half of this to go.
Apparently there's a big twist at the end here. This is the future of content, by the way. It's like you're so lonely, so you just sit at... I'm drinking my Bloody Mary at home alone, watching Kurt eat. This is like, oh, it's just like I'm eating dinner with somebody. This is what the kids like these days. It's the mukbang content.
Thanks for all the people in chat saying it looks like I'm down. Yeah, I'm down like 60 pounds from my peak.
Good.
I'm like, I was 331 yesterday. I don't think I weighed myself this morning.
You're saying, Kurt, you gotta shave the head. You gotta shave the head. It's time to get the big mustache like Legal Vices and grow a longer beard and shave the head. I'm sorry. I know you don't want to hear it, but it's, I mean, somebody's going to be telling me that the same thing in a couple of years anyway. So, you know, I'm preparing myself for it too. But you gotta, this isn't working.
I was 331.
You just gotta be confident and shave it off.
Thank you very much.
But you do look slimmer, yeah, it's true.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
American waiters seem nice though. Is it because they get tipped?
What is moons over my hammy? Well,
good
it's
question.
A sandwich. It involves ham and egg, basically, and cheese on bread.
I might make a ham. Oh wait, I got to stream tomorrow. Shit, I got to play dinosaur games tomorrow. I don't have time to make a grilled cheese sandwich. I really want one now.
Yeah, I'm not even going to eat half of this.
Oh, he's too good for Denny's, I guess.
Not being hungry all the time with like Zepbound or Mangiano is really nice. Just like not being like super hungry all the time is just nice.
5-star days. Oh,
you know,
dear.
I don't. It's like I don't have to eat. Yeah, how do I lose weight? Zepbound, Mangiano, Triceptide, GL1 inhibitors.
He's too good for the movement over my
But
hammies.
it's just nice not being hungry all the time. It's nice because I would have eaten all this no problem. You know.
I know that feeling. I'm always hungry. I'm always hungry.
It's really freeing. It's really nice. Like just not being
like constantly wanting to shove my face full of food all the time. It's nice.
Are you in like Ozempic or something? What's going on here, Kurt?
Is the med in shot? Yeah, it's injection. It's once a week. It's a once a week injection.
Interesting. Okay. Do they have Ozempic for alcohol? Asking for a friend who's currently in a small law firm in central Minnesota.
How much did I eat before my journal? A lot.
Zabound? Okay.
Basically, I had like 2 lunches and 3 dinners every day, and that kind of adds up after a while.
What?
When you have 2 lunches and 3 dinners every single day, amazingly enough, you gain a lot of weight.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. I gotta play it. I gotta play it. Can't. That's on Facebook. Shit, can't play that. I just want the clip. What is this dietary advice? 3 dinners?
Gentlemen, we do not stop till nightfall.
What about breakfast?
We've already had it.
We've had one, yes. What about second breakfast?
What is this? What is this 3 dinners? What's going on here? He's hobbit maxing. But aren't you like, wait, aren't you taller than me, Kurt? I'm 6'3". I heard you were really tall. I heard you like 6'5". You're like a big top. You're like the big hobbit. What's going on here? No, Kurt's tall. I'm pretty sure Kurt's like really tall. He doesn't look tall. Like he doesn't look tall on stream, but I heard he's really tall. Oh, he's 6 foot. He's 6 foot. Okay. All right. I retract my statement then. I'm actually 5'11", so when I stand next to you, you won't be able to lie about being 6 foot.
You don't do needles? It's a total non-issue. It's an auto-injector pen. I mean, you don't even like have to draw it out of a vial or anything. You
Potentially
just open the
criminal in
pen, press
chat
the button,
saying the
it injects
anti-alcohol shot is
automatically into you.
called
It automatically extends the needle,
Vivitrol. It
injects it,
works.
retracts the needle. It's great.
Nice.
It's pretty awesome.
Thank you very much for that. We were listening to your cocktails before. I don't know. I hope you didn't hear about the the Kingpin posting we were doing. Did you check your PO box? I sent you something, but I think it's still in customs in America. I don't know what's going on there.
Kind of expensive though, so I'm still trying to get my insurance to cover it. In case you're curious, $650 a month is what I'm paying right now, and that's the coupon price. So before anyone asks, do you have a manufacturer's coupon? That is the coupon price.
American
But I'm still
Healthcare
trying
is
to get my
weird.
insurance to cover it because I'd like to, not pay $650 every month.
Hey, I'm 4'8". I'm 4'8" and 250 kilos, boys. It's not easy out here. I'm living my worst life. It is a lot. So give us a 1 out of 10, Kurt. How was it out of 10? 1 out of 10. Like, would you rather just make a grilled cheese at home or something?
I was on what's it called? Semi-glutide. I was on semi-glutide before that for about a month, and I've been on Zepbound now for 2 months. So about 3 months, give or take. But I wasn't really able to tolerate the semi-glutide. It made me very nauseous. So it wasn't necessarily effective. So 2 months maybe with some extra there.
Oh man.
Depending on how you're counting.
Yeah, healthcare in Japan is really cheap. It's crazy. Depends on how much you earn, though, of course.
2.5 months, let's call it. Thank you.
Was it weird live streaming in
that'd be
public?
fine. And can I actually get to go box? And probably I'll give you about half this. Thank you.
Oh, they don't do doggy bags in Japan either, actually. Like, it's really weird to ask for, like, to take your food away. I mean, not that it's a problem, because I always finish my meal. But, like, I forgot you could even do that. You just don't get to take all your food away with you. But we do have all you can eat and all you can drink. Like, literally for $20 in Japan, you can just have as much alcohol as you want for like 2 hours. It's pretty bad. It's deadly, they call it. They've also got the Strong Zero over here, which is like a 9% 500 milliliter can. The tall boys. They call that the Gaijin killer. Of course, Nick won't be able to enjoy these for 5 years or so, unfortunately. He'd even have to ask his permission from daddy government to allow him to even leave the country and see Japan.
Pancakes? Blueberries?
Oh, these look good.
They look pretty.
You dropped a berry. You dropped one, Kurt. Did you pick it up? 5-second rule.
How tall am I? 6 foot.
Oh, verified. We asked him earlier, Your Honor. He said he was 6 foot in the chat, and he said he was 6 foot in the video. We determined this to be true, or at least consistent. Blueberries are good for you. I get frozen blueberries. I just add them to my like cereal or whatever.
You're not 6 feet? I really am.
I thought for some reason I thought you were 6'5". I thought Andrew said you were 6'5" or something. Who's the other? Is there any other really tall people in Lawtube? But yeah, I can't stand streaming in public or recording myself in public. It's too cringe for me. I feel too much social pressure. Even in Japan, where nobody gives a shit.
How much have I lost so far? 60 pounds.
Andrew's like 6'6", I think, or 6'9". He's like 200 centimeters.
I'll take the check when you have a chance as well.
Apparently, there's a big. It all comes around in the last 2 minutes of this show. We're gonna find out.
You have this night too, Thank you. Appreciate it.
Aaron, who's 6? No, Aaron's 6'3". I'm pretty sure.
Any side effects? Not with Monjurna. With semiglutide, I had a lot of side effects. Semiglutide made me nauseous. I had really bad nausea with the semiglutide.
It's not true. This is not true. Jeff was not 7'3".
I had really bad. Nausea, but I haven't had any side effects with Monjurna. Are my shakes med related? No, my shakes are a long, persistent condition.
I heard that Joe used to be like super buff. Like he used to be really like Schwarzenegger or some sort. At least that's what he said.
It's a non-essential tremor. I've had it since I've been very young.
Okay, that's the shaking now. That's
unrelated to the medicine. It's just my hands are shaking. It happens.
Yeah, Drex is tall. I talked to him recently, actually. He told me that He told me that Kayla and another cheerleader wanted to see his dick in college. So, there you go. Fatty Caddy will enjoy that one. They literally Kayla and I think it was Patty or some stupid name. Like they were in the underwear parties and they were like, "Oi, get your cock out, mate." They literally said that to him. There were some other things that we talked about too, which are very interesting, but I'm waiting for something before I mention that. These hoes ain't loyal. He said that quite a few times when I was talking to him, actually.
I don't produce enough testosterone. Interestingly enough, last time I did labs, my testosterone.
Oh, one other thing I asked him was like, I was like, so what does Kayla do in the house? And he was like, that's the question. What does she do?
Was back up. So, yeah, I wasn't producing enough testosterone, but since I've lost weight, my numbers are back normal again.
Based.
So, that's been a nice benefit.
He's a high test male. Ladies, you're in Texas, right? Any Texas ladies?
Yeah, they're not uncommon. It's not uncommon. Yeah, I was diagnosed like when I was 10 or something, but it's not bad enough for me to treat. It's not a big enough problem for me to care about, so I don't treat it. It's not degenerative. It's just slightly annoying, but not enough for me to, not enough for me to treat it.
Joe is barely 5'8". Embarrassing. If you're short and buff, it doesn't count. Short kings can gain like muscle like nothing else. Lanklets, we're suffering over here.
It did make installing watch hands really, really hard yesterday, though.
What? Do you make watches?
So there was that.
Wait, what? Wait, can someone explain this? Wait, Kurt, explain yourself. Are you switching from YouTube to Watchmen? Are you a watchman now? You're making watches? That's actually pretty cool. I love old watches, like the pocket watches and shit. That's neat. That's a hobby. That's pretty cool hobby, actually. Unironically, that's very wholesome. I wish I could. I always wanted to be like a tinkerer, you know, make like steampunk shit and stuff like that. My friend does it really well. Oh, that's really cool. Good for you.
Is weight loss helping with depression? Not that I've noticed so far, but it can't help. It can't hurt, right? It hasn't made the depression any worse.
I mean, this is a good. I mean, I would like Kurt to be a little bit happier than this, but this is a good point of view. And this is like, is he channeling his like? This is like a George like smug face or something. This is almost like a meme face. Like if this was the Kino Casinos, he'd be like, "Can we get 10 subs to make this a sticker?" I like smug Kurt. I might make this a thumbnail at some point or something. I don't know. Maybe I should screenshot this for later. But this is a good point of view. You know, if you're depressed, you're doing something to improve your life, even if you don't feel better yet, it couldn't hurt. You may as well keep going, right? You're going through hell, you keep going. That's my advice. There's a very smug smile, though. Oh, wait, Kurt. I have to ask you one thing. How much were you laughing at Megan's letter? Do you feel like vindicated from the AutoZone drama now? Like, I think Megan's letter was the best of the three, but there's so much wrong with what she said. It's crazy. You seem like you're having a bit of a giggle, if I'm being honest. Yeah, you laughed quite a bit. I thought as much.
Well, there's more than enough food for now.
Wow, self-control.
So I'll show you what I'm leaving behind.
All right, apparently this is the payoff.
Leaving behind that much pancake, and leaving behind that much sandwich and hash brown.
What the fuck is this? Hash? It looks like shavings. It's like wood shavings or something. Is this what Americans eat? Wood shavings?
So that's what Mangiano does for you. It's like that's more than enough food, man. For me.
Pepsi Man, do you accept BTC? I need to settle our debt. Even though I don't think Nick will spend another day in prison, I think that the spirit of the bet was the sentencing. So I agree that you are right. Okay, I will give you the $20 in either super chats or Bitcoin. That's how I can pay you. But the $20 will be honored. Surfer wallet. We'll see. I could mail him $20 if he gives me his address. How much am I going to pay him? He's in America or something. I'm waiting for the payoff on this Denny's stream. That it's just to own eating the Denny's to own Rekietalaw is very funny.
Do I just eat what I want, lesser amounts, basically? Yeah.
We didn't have a bet, Nova. I don't think we didn't, right? Send some fraudulent debt collection notices after me. How about that? No, I can settle us up. I can settle up now if you want, and if it comes back, you can refund me. I think you're gonna be. It's fine. Oh, normal speed for the payoff apparently. Oh, sorry. I was talking during this quality Denny's content. Hey, look, it's fresh. Okay, it's fresh. How's it going, Flash? It's fresh fish. I'm not sure if I've skipped part. Apparently, there's a thing happening here.
Well, guys, I think that's it for now.
Did I get?
So yeah, I think Nick Rekieta was right. I'm a little bit confused about what I ordered. I've been on civil law. Till later, my friends. I hope all's well. Cheers for now, my friends.
All right, good stuff. Jokes on me. We got it. They got me, boys. Very, very cool of Uncivil Law to go to Denny's. I'll give him a based for that.
Was this story based? Yes.
Oops. Oh no, I've got my autoplay turned on. I've got to turn that off straight away. All right. So we had our clowns. We've got our dinosaurs tomorrow. You can get your washed up lawyer internet figurine. It comes with ceiling cat's Pope hat, little baggie of mysterious substance. This has to be removed. We're not allowed to have this whiskey bottle here for 5 years. So this is a classic edition now. You will not be able to get the washed up lawyer action figure. Tomorrow, allegedly, Nick is going to be streaming his case, as well as Minnesota Public Lawyers. Public Records is going to be dropping some dates. So we'll have to see. We'll have to wait and see till tomorrow. If Nick streams during my Dino stream, I guess we'll stream snipe it. And then if there's any documents drops, I'll interrupt the Dino stream to talk about whatever happens. If there's something really, really interesting, then maybe we'll have to just stop the dinos and see what's happening. I don't know. But I think that Minnesota Public Records is completely buck broken Nick. He's being full. Oh, this is a good one. This is good. Now I'm just reading the farms to see. You think that? Nah, there's no chance. I don't think the body cam's coming out tomorrow. The body cam has to be redacted still. That's the issue. Unless they have access to the raw body cam footage. Like, if the body cam comes out tomorrow, I will stop my stream and I will go through and redact the minors myself, because I wouldn't want to broadcast them. But I will say, if I'm very curious to see the body cam, because there's a particular closet I'm very interested to see inside. And how do I put this? It's going to make Harry Potter fans very, very happy, I think, when I talk about this. But we're going to wait for the body cam for that. Looks like Nick is going to be working his way through the public, cleaning up and, making a little, improvement in his community. And that's all I got for you tonight. Thank you very much, chat. This was fun. 3 hours, 900 people. Thanks for the time. Thanks for the laughs. And we'll see what goes on from here. And we end season 1 of the Baldo saga. Happy Easter. Hope you had a good Friday. Hope you have a great Saturday. Hope you have some Easter eggs. It's time to crack open those eggs and feast on the goo inside. And Pepsi Man, I now owe him $20. He was right. Okay, there we go. With that, we are gone. Let me see. Oh, I know it can play out for a couple seconds. All right, see you, chat. Peace. Oh, sorry. We interrupt our 5 grams of cocaine to say Sikalo with his 5 Singaporean dollars says, can confirm, went to a Denny's near Nagoya Shinkansen last October, ordered too much, but the food is delicious. All right, guys, now we're really out of here. No more super chats, okay? Oh, shit, I did it wrong. Oh, well, stream's over. I tried